They were the final moments of
Get an ambulance.
Shortly after, two officers grabbed the 13-year-old who had just been shot by his sweatshirt and legs and carried him away from the gas pump where he was laying.
They drag him with no regard for this young man, pull him like a rag doll away from the pump to another area after he had already sustained a major injury to his back.
They're supposed to value the sanctity of human life. There was no value here. Officers believe they likely struck those gas pumps.
Chicago police later said they were concerned a gas tank might have been hit by gunfire and could explode. The shooting officer, Noah Ball, didn't have his body camera activated until roughly 40 seconds after the shooting, as he asked another officer if his is on.
Is your camera on? Okay, good.
Ball's camera being off was inadvertent, his attorney told CNN, but inexcusable, the teen's attorneys say.
So the suggestion that, hey, maybe this was just a temporary absent-mindedness because he was involved in a pursuit, they know that they're supposed to engage their cameras, and it's up to them to do it.
The 13-year-old was a passenger in a suspected stolen car when officers tried to stop it. Police say he jumped out and started running. Then, right as he turns and appears to raise his hands, he's shot at least once, leaving him now paralyzed from the waist down, his attorneys say. And for you all, at least, it's clear that his hands are up.
His hands are up. There was no justification for the officer to shoot.
And he was unarmed.
Clearly unarmed.
And at least some bystanders on the scene appear to agree. One witness who didn't want to be identified said,
his hands was up, and I seen the cop run right up to that boy. It's just start shooting.
But the attorney for the shooting officer is looking less at where the hands were and more what he says his client thought was in them. Attorney Timothy Grace wrote to CNN in part, Officer Ball reasonably believed the object being pointed at him was a firearm. It ended up being a cell phone, but Officer Ball had to make a split-second decision as he had no cover and no concealment. He discharged his service weapon to stop the threat. The teen's attorneys argue he was trying to surrender and that the pursuit shouldn't have happened in the first place.
There's been no charges against him. He was in a stolen vehicle and he ran away. He ran away. And does that warrant being shot in the back and paralyzed from the waist down?
If all you need is to have someone flee from the police to justify a shooting, we got real problems in this city and in this country.
Now, Don, the teen's attorneys dispute there was ever anything in his hands at all and argue there's no definitive video to prove it. They, along with the family, have now filed a federal lawsuit against the Chicago Police Department, in part to account for the teen's life that has now been altered forever because of these injuries. The Chicago Police Department couldn't comment on the shooting because it's still under investigation by the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, but they did confirm this officer was stripped of his police powers at least 2 days after this shooting, pending the outcome of that investigation.
Hey, you guys, he's going to lose control here as he goes up that embankment. Do we have units on Bear Valley? He's stalling out. All right, dude. I'm doing 140, dude. Everybody's got a rifle. Dude. Let me know when open door. You're clear. You're I'm not even sure that. He's on fire. Units back up. Take some cover. Take some cover. We have zero backup on the southbound lanes. Take your cover. Put out that shots are being fired. Shots are fired. Shots are fired. Continue to shoot at the deputy. Girls out. All right, girls out, guys. Female Jimmy is out. She's out on the passenger side. Does anyone else have eyes in the vehicle to see if we have any other passengers inside? Oh, no.
Passenger, get out! Passenger, get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Passenger, get out! Get out! Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here! Hey! 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 Come here! Come to me! Come to me! Come to me! Come to me! Come!
Hey, you guys, he's gonna lose control here as he goes up that embankment. Do we have units on Bear Valley? He's stalling out. I do.
Come here! Come to me! Come to me! Come to me! Come to me! Come!
Hey, you guys, he's gonna lose control here as he goes up that embankment. Do we have units on Bear Valley? He's stalling out. I do. I'm doing 40, dude. Everybody's on the right dude. Let me know no clear to open door. Chuck.
Passenger, get out! Passenger, get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Passenger, get out! Get out! Come here! Come here! Come here! Come here! Hey! 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 Come here! Come to me! Come to me! Come to me! Come to me! Come! Walk! Hey! Stop! Stop shooting her! He's in the car! Stop! She's okay! He's in the car! Stop!
We also have newly released video from Ceres Police tonight. It shows body camera video of one of their police officers shooting and killing a teen boy. It happened back in August of last year. A high-speed chase led to 15-year-old Carmen Spencer Mendez running from police. It happened in an orchard east of Ceres. The officer fires more than a dozen rounds before telling the boy to get on the ground. Ceres PD has said the teen had a handgun and other firearms were found in his car. The police department is declining to comment tonight, saying the case is under investigation by the district attorney's office.
Our first look at the body camera video of the night an officer shot an 11-year-old boy in his own home. It was released after various Freedom of Information Act requests, including one from ABC News. The officer has been cleared of criminal wrongdoing, and the boy survived, but the family is now seeking justice through a civil suit. Ike Kajachi joins us now with details. Ike, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. This body camera video, which some people may find disturbing, shows the moment the officer involved pulled the trigger on 11-year-old Adarian Murray, shooting him in the chest.
Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands.
This morning, shocking new body camera footage showing 11-year-old Adarian Murray shot in the chest by a Mississippi police officer.
Where is he at?
I just was trying to tell her she's holding the food.
Police.
The shooting taking place last May. The unarmed 11-year-old telling ABC News an argument between his mother and her ex-boyfriend woke him. Then he dialed 911 after his mom told him to do so. What he told us next can be seen on the body camera footage. Take a look. You can see the officer approach the house before knocking on the door several times. Adarian's mom coming out first with her hands up.
Where's he at?
Then the crucial moment, the officer stepping into the house, Adarian coming around the corner with his hands in the air. That's when the officer is seen pulling the trigger. Adarian was rushed to the hospital where doctors discovered the bullet collapsed his lung and lacerated his liver. ABC News bullet moment. The officer stepping into the house, Adarian coming around the corner with his hands in the air. That's when the officer is seen pulling the trigger. Adarian was rushed to the hospital where doctors discovered the bullet collapsed his lung and lacerated his liver. ABC News speaking exclusively to Adarian after the incident, who described the moment he was shot.
I came out doing this. When Greg shot me, I did this to my chest. It feels like a big punch to the chest.
Sergeant Greg Capers, the officer involved, was suspended without pay. He told ABC's DeMarco Morgan that the shooting wasn't intentional.
I hate that it happened because even I love kids. I've shed many tears, done everything I can to get this situation off of me.
His attorney telling ABC News it's a complete surprise that the body camera was released, but some still raising questions about the policing. Sergeant Greg Capers, the officer involved, was suspended without pay. He told ABC's DeMarco Morgan that the shooting wasn't intentional.
I hate that it happened because even I love kids. I've shed many tears, done everything I can to get this situation off of me.
His attorney telling ABC News it's a complete surprise that the body camera was released, but some still raising questions about the policing tactics in this case.
What this is really about is police training and a desire for citizens to want law enforcement to move away from a shoot first, ask questions later.
Now, an attorney for Adarian's mom said they welcome the body camera footage being released. She's filing a $5 million federal lawsuit against Capers and the city of Indianola, Mississippi, for her son's injuries and for excessive force. Now, a Mississippi grand jury has determined Sergeant Capers won't face any criminal charges. He's already been reinstated to the police department and says he's ready to get back to work. Gio? He's already been reinstated to the police department and says he's ready to get back to work. Gio?
All right, I thank you so much for your reporting there.
An unarmed 14-year-old suspected of breaking a window gets shot by police. The officer who fired later blamed the shooting on a mix-up, saying he used the wrong gun. CBS 2 investigator Dave Savini obtained the body camera video and reveals what went wrong.
How are you? Somebody called and complained about you guys. You guys were involved in something damaging somebody's windows.
It's 8:50 in the morning. Quiet South suburban Sauk Village when these two kids, a boy and a girl, both 14, are stopped by police.
You ain't got nothing to do with me. What? Okay, you guys got your IDs on you?
Officer Seth Brown starts questioning the 8th graders about a broken window in the neighborhood.
Do me a favor, keep your hands out of your pockets, bro. Just keep your hands out of your pockets. You're coming out here to see friends? Okay.
Officer Seth Brown starts questioning the 8th graders about a broken window in the neighborhood.
Do me a favor, keep your hands out of your pockets, bro. Just keep your hands out of your pockets. You're coming out here to see friends? Okay.
Police body cameras are rolling.
What happened?
And also show Sergeant Scott Langan talking to a woman in the street who suspects the teens damaged a window on her home the day before.
That's the boy that did it. I got a picture of him.
Who are they? Do you know who they are?
They know my nephew.
Sergeant Langan then approaches the teens who are still being questioned by Officer Brown.
Full name and date of birth, okay? I'm not going to play with you two. you understand me? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you.
But the situation quickly escalates.
Why are you touching me?
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back, man.
Why are you touching?
Arrest.
For what?
Hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back, man.
Why are you touching me?
Because you're under arrest.
For what?
CDP.
Arrested for CDP. What exactly is CDP? The boy's lawyers say the 8th grader definitely didn't know. It's an acronym for criminal damage to property.
I'm going to tell you something, dude.
His friend then starts recording it all with her phone.
Listen.
Or it'll be another charge.
You understand me?
It'll be another charge, man.
Then listen to the conflicting messages from the different officers. One saying you'll be let go. The other, you'll be tased.
Right now, it's just her word against your word. If
If
you want to make it another charge,
I'm going to tase you.
you're going to get charged and let go.
But then Officer Brown stays true to his word and uses his taser on the 8th grader, who starts screaming in pain.
They use the taser on what's known as a pain setting. The only purpose of using the pain setting is to cause maximum pain to the individual.
Attorneys Gabe Hardy and Al Hofeld Jr. filed a lawsuit against the Sauk Village Police. Uses his taser on the 8th grader, who starts screaming in pain.
They use the taser on what's known as a pain setting. The only purpose of using the pain setting is to cause maximum pain to the individual.
Attorneys Gabe Hardy and Al Hofeld Jr. filed a lawsuit against the Sauk Village Police Department for the teen we are not naming. But it didn't end with the taser. Here's what happened next.
Get down. Put your hands behind your back, man.
While being shocked by the taser, the teen runs. Then watch as Sergeant Langan pulls his duty weapon from his holster on his right side, a .40 caliber Glock. He aims it and fires. A .40 caliber Glock. He aims it and fires. Here's another view. The bullet rips through the teen's hip. These photos were taken at the hospital.
Should a handgun have ever been pulled out and fired in this situation?
Absolutely not. It was excessive, completely unnecessary. There was no justification whatsoever for this officer immediately drawing his firearm and shooting this 14-year-old kid.
The teen, now bleeding, runs from the officers.
Dude.
Sergeant Langan catches up. Run. The teen, now bleeding, runs from the officers.
Dude.
Sergeant Langan catches up and this time pulls out his taser as the teen jumps a fence.
Go around the block. He ran around the block.
What was this 14-year-old thinking while he was shot and hiding in a yard somewhere?
He was afraid they were coming after him. He was afraid they were going to shoot him again.
They shot him once for no reason. Why would they not shoot him again?
Why did Sergeant Langan shoot? 2 weeks after this March of 2022 incident, Langan was questioned by state police and Cook County prosecutors. In this report obtained by the CBS 2 investigators, he claimed the shooting was an accident. He said he thought he grabbed his taser and didn't realize he grabbed his gun, and stated, "I'm completely sorry. But it didn't end with the taser." Here's what happened next.
Get down. Put your hands behind your back, man.
While being shocked by the taser, the teen runs. Then watch as Sergeant Langan pulls his duty weapon from his holster on his right side, a .40 caliber Glock. He aims it and fires. Here's another view. The bullet rips through the teen's hip. These photos were taken at the hospital.
Should a handgun have ever been pulled out and fired in this situation?
Absolutely not.
Sirs.
Dude.
Sergeant Langan catches up and this time pulls out his taser as the teen jumps a fence.
Go around the block. You ran around the block.
What was this 14-year-old thinking while he was shot and hiding in a yard somewhere?
He was afraid they were coming after him. He was afraid they were going to shoot him again.
They shot him once for no reason. Why would they not shoot him again?
This is a metabolism killer. This.
Why did Sergeant Langan shoot? 2 weeks after this March of 2022 incident, Langan was questioned by state police and Cook County prosecutors. In this report obtained by the CBS 2 investigators, he claimed the shooting was an accident. He said he thought he grabbed his taser and didn't realize he grabbed his gun, and stated, "I'm completely sorry. I feel like I let everyone down. I have nothing else to say."
Do you think he should have known that he had a handgun in his hand?
He certainly should have known they had a handgun in his hand. He pulled the weapon from the holster that holds his handgun.
Keep in mind, the handgun in this case, the Glock, is nearly 5 times the weight of the taser.
Reckless?
Beyond reckless. And that is complete disregard and recklessness by you, the officer, not only endangering the individual that you are firing at, but the public in general.
Where he had kept his gun and his taser mattered. Take a look at this photo showing the sergeant's vest. It shows where he carried his taser. Then look at Officer Brown's gear. He had a separate holster on the other side of his body for his taser. There was a life-saving reason for this. A year earlier in Minnesota, an officer grabbed her gun instead of her taser and killed Dante Wright during a traffic stop. To make sure this type of incident didn't happen in Sauk Village, the police chief required officers to move their tasers to the opposite side of their body from their handgun, said Langan in his statement. But Langan just kept his taser Velcro to the front pouch of his vest.
When that officer made the decision to pull that handgun out of the holster,
yes,
he was pulling it from a side of his body where the taser was never supposed to be.
Correct. And when he extends it out in front of him, it's within his range of vision. It's in fact, it's within his direct line of sight. So he sees the weapon before he pulls the trigger.
There seems to be other taser-related issues too. Sergeant Langan said the department gave him taser. There seems to be other taser-related issues too. Sergeant Langan said the department gave him taser training only 2 or 3 times in the 10 years he carried one. But this department policy says at a minimum, officers should be trained every year.
Hey, what's going on, man?
The man with his hands up is the boy's guardian. He showed up on the scene after the injured teen, who was still hiding, called him to tell him he'd been shot by police.
The ambulance is coming up to check him out, okay? All right.
As paramedics arrived, the guardian begins asking police more questions.
He's saying you shot him. You shot him for no reason.
No,
the girl said she got it on tape.
No, everything's on body cam, okay? Like the whole incident is okay.
Even the emergency medical technician started asking questions.
They trying to say that one of y'all shot him or something.
All right.
Then the teen's handcuff is removed.
Hey, let me take that handcuff off.
And then he was transported to the hospital and treated for his gunshot wound. The broken window was never brought up again.
Do they ever arrest this 14-year-old?
They never arrest him. They
Saying you shot him. You shot him for no reason.
No,
the girl said she got it on tape.
No, everything's on body cam, okay? Like the whole incident is okay.
Even the emergency medical technician started asking questions.
They trying to say that one of y'all shot him or something.
All right.
Then the teen's handcuff is removed.
Hey, let me take that handcuff off.
And then he was transported to the hospital and treated for his gunshot wound. The broken window was never brought up again.
Do they ever arrest this 14-year-old?
They never arrest him. They never charge him. They never cite him.
Dude.
It's like it never happened?
It's like it never happened. And it looks and feels like contrition because they know because they shot him unjustifiably.
It's now been a year and a half since the shooting, and the police department has yet to even start the disciplinary process. Last month, the Cook County State's Attorney's Office decided not to charge Sergeant Langan. The Sauk Village Police Chief says he was waiting on that decision before taking any action. Dave Savini, CBS 2 Investigators.
Marksville, Louisiana, where, as the water tower says, everybody is a somebody. And the somebody everybody here is talking about is 6-year-old Jeremy Martis, killed in a blaze of bullets fired by 2 deputy city marshals during the pursuit of a car the boy's father, Chris Few, was driving. Few was neither armed nor were there warrants for his arrest. How could it happen? According to some, this small town has big problems.
It's a whole lot of things that's wrong. And it's sad for to say that it took a 6-year-old boy for them to come and see what is really going on down here. And it's just not right.
Fingers point to the deputy marshals now charged with Jeremy's death, 32-year-old Derek Stafford and 23-year-old Norris Greenhouse Jr. Stafford's also a Marksville police officer. Even the mayor says he's had conflicts with him.
I tried to talk to the previous chief about it, and nothing was done.
So has Patrick Johnson, who says Officer Stafford had him arrested, also a Marksville police officer. Even the mayor says he's had conflicts with him.
I tried to talk to the previous chief about it, and nothing was done.
So has Patrick Johnson, who says Officer Stafford had him arrested just for complaining about it.
Made a complaint to the Avoid Parish Sheriff's Office. And later on, I guess they heard it over the radio, and they sent a police officer arrest me for disturbing the peace.
Johnson sued. It's one of 5 lawsuits that name Stafford as a defendant. A woman alleges Stafford used a stun gun on her, even though she was already handcuffed and in the back seat of a police car. In another suit, a mother accuses the officer of restraining her teenage daughter's stun gun on her, even that names Stafford as a defendant. A woman alleges Stafford used a stun gun on her, even though she was already handcuffed and in the back seat of a police car. In another suit, a mother accuses the officer of restraining her teenage daughter so forcibly in a school bus that the girl had to be treated at a hospital for an injury to her arm. All of the suits are still pending. We reached out to Stafford's civil attorney, Derek Whittington, who told us, quote, "I will not be making any comment regarding litigation involving the city of Marksville or its employees," unquote. Then there are the criminal allegations against Stafford. 2 counts of aggravated rape stemming from 2004 and 2011. Those charges were later dropped. Whatever the previous allegations, of course, none of them explain what everyone wants to know. Why did a pursuit that night end with an unarmed man critically wounded and his 6-year-old son sitting beside him, dead?
A former San Antonio police officer was charged with a first-degree felony for shooting an unarmed 17-year-old sitting in a McDonald's parking lot. On October 2nd, police were called to the fast food restaurant for an alleged disturbance. While there, former officer James Brennan told investigators that he recognized a car in the parking lot that allegedly evaded him the day before when he attempted a stop. Without identifying himself as an officer, Brennan is seen on body camera video opening the car door and demanding the driver step outside.
Get out of the car.
The surprised teenager, identified as 17-year-old Eric Cantu, reversed the car and Brennan began to fire.
Shot fired! Shot fired!
Brennan shot 10 rounds at the car, hitting the teen driver 4 times.
Nothing that officer did that night were in accordance with our training or our policies.
The rookie cop was fired for his actions and on Tuesday was charged and turned himself in to police. The Bexar County District Attorney says James Brennan was booked on 2 warrants for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon by a public servant, a first-degree felony. Brennan's bond was set at $200,000. In the meantime, Eric Cantu's family said in a statement that he is fighting for his life. He is still unconscious and is on life support. The last 2 days have been difficult and we expect more difficulty ahead, but we remain hopeful. We'd like to correct any misrepresentations that Eric is in stable condition or he is going to be fine. That is not true. Every breath is a struggle for Eric. We ask for everyone's continued prayer for our son. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help Eric's family with medical costs. This is Inside Edition Digital.
Cleaning instruments at his music school when a suspected armed bank robber being pursued by police burst in. The teen was accidentally shot by cops in the arm. He's a musician, and the question is, will this aspiring guitar player be able to play again? Here's Les Trent.
All hell is about to break loose inside this music school in Chicago. You can see a 15-year-old kid, Rylan Wilder, cleaning up. He's an intern at the music school, which is about to close for the day. Rylan is emptying the trash. Suddenly, everyone's attention turns to the door. Police cars with sirens blaring speed by. What happens next comes out of nowhere. An armed suspect fleeing police runs into the school. A police officer is right behind him and opens fire. But his aim is off. Rylan is shot. Another angle shows Rylan wounded, running into a room where students are hiding. When the smoke cleared, police runs into the school. A police officer is right. School, which is about to close for the day. Rylan is emptying the trash. Suddenly, everyone's attention turns to the door. Police cars with sirens blaring speed by. What happens next comes out of nowhere. An armed suspect fleeing police runs into the school. A police officer is right behind him and opens fire. But his aim is off. Rylan is shot. Another angle shows Rylan wounded, running into a room where students are hiding. When the smoke cleared, police would realize they killed the suspect, but also accidentally shot Rylan. That's where it hit you. They killed. Another angle. A police officer is right behind him and opens fire. An armed suspect fleeing police runs into the school. A police officer is right behind him and opens fire. But his aim is off. Rylan is shot. Another angle shows Rylan wounded, running into a room where students are hiding. When the smoke cleared, police would realize they killed the suspect, but also accidentally shot Rylan. That's where it hit you?
That's where the bullet went in. And then this right here is where the bullet came out.
Wow. His mother, Lucia, says she will never forget that day.
When my husband called me and said that, that Rylan had been shot and that he was in an ambulance, I thought my child was going to die in that moment.
Rylan survived being shot, but his injuries were so grievous, he wondered if his dream of one day playing guitar professionally were dashed forever. 18 operations later, Rylan had to learn to play guitar a whole new way. And here he is. His family's lawsuit against the Des Plaines Police Department claimed reckless and excessive behavior. The department just settled for $1.9 million.
I've watched the video of the officer going into the school, following the criminal who I had seen run past my son, and just start shooting.
In a statement, the police say this settlement does not reflect the heroic actions the officer took that day, putting his life at risk to save others.
Son into the school.
$1 million.
I've watched the video of the officer going into the school, following the criminal who I had seen run past my son, and just start shooting.
In a statement, the police say this settlement does not reflect the heroic actions the officer took that day, putting his life at risk to save others.
I've watched the video of the officer going into the school, following the criminal who I had seen run past my son, and just start shooting.
In a statement, the police say this settlement does not reflect the heroic actions the officer took that day, putting his life at risk to save others.
The school, following the criminal.
The department just settled for $1.9 million.
I've watched the video of the officer going into the school, following the criminal who I had seen run past my son, and just start shooting.
In a statement, the police say this settlement does not reflect the heroic actions the officer took that day, putting his life at risk to save others.
Yeah, in my mind, I don't understand how anyone could run into a building not knowing who's in there, not knowing who's in the room that the suspect is running into, and you're shooting at him like there's no other kids in there. I don't get that. That seems really, 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 really strange. But let me just rock that one more time. Let's rock this one more time, yo.
By police burst in. The teen was accidentally shot by cops in the arm. He's a musician, and the question is, will this aspiring guitar player be able to play again? Here's Les Trent.
All hell is about to break loose inside this music school in Chicago. You can see a 15-year-old kid, Rylan Wilder, cleaning up. He's an intern at the music school, which is about to close for the day. Rylan is emptying the trash. Suddenly, everyone's attention turns to the door. Police cars with sirens blaring speed by. What happens next comes out of nowhere. An armed suspect fleeing police runs into the school. A police officer is right behind him and opens fire.
Right there, that makes no sense. The fact that this officer, he saw the boy running out, how does he know there's not another boy? How does he know there's not another girl or child in the same room that the last boy ran out of? That is very, very strange.
But his aim is off. Rylan is shot. Another angle shows Rylan wounded, running into a room where students are hiding. When the smoke cleared, police would realize they killed the suspect, but also accidentally shot Rylan. That's where it hit you?
That's where the bullet went in. And then this right here is where the bullet came out.
Wow. His mother, Lucia, says she will never forget that day.
When my husband called me and said that, that Rylan had been shot and that he was in an ambulance, I thought my child was going to die in that moment.
Rylan survived being shot, but his injuries were so grievous, he wondered if his dream of one day playing guitar professionally were dashed forever. 18 operations later, Rylan had to learn to play guitar a whole new way. And here he is. His family's lawsuit against the Des Plaines Police Department claimed reckless and excessive behavior. The department just settled for $1.9 million.
I've watched the video of the officer going into the school, following the criminal who I had seen run past my son, and just start shooting.
In a statement, the police say this settlement does not reflect the heroic actions the officer took that day, putting his life at risk to save others.
Yo, this video right here, in my view, it puts people at risk, to be honest. Just because you're chasing a person, a criminal, doesn't mean you chase and shoot at him. This is crazy. This is insane. But let's see. There's other ones, other incidents where there's young people involved, and a lot of incidents where there's young people involved. Let's see here. Missing kids with, hold on. Charged with shooting 17-year-old at McDonald's. We saw that one. This is these are the young boys. Did we do this? Demand justice? Yeah, this young boy also. Okay, here we go. Let's check this one out. This is Fresno.
Disturbing new video is shedding light on a deadly 2017 police shooting of a teenage murder suspect as he tried to run away. Their surveillance video shows very clearly the 16-year-old climbing a fence and then falling to the ground after being shot. Now the teenager's parents are suing over his death. Our lead national correspondent, David Begna, was here now with more on this story. What are police saying? Because the video does not look good.
Well, so look, it's all going to come down to this civil lawsuit, and the jury's going to have to decide, was the shooting justified? There were 3 different separate agencies who investigated the case and ruled the shooting was justified. They said at the time the teenager, who was unarmed, was suspected of murder. But the family's lawyer says, just look at this tape. April 15th, 2017, 16-year-old Isaiah Marietta Golding leaps a fence and runs from the police after a traffic stop. He makes it 8 steps before an officer on the other side of the fence pulls the trigger and shoots him in the back of the head. Isaiah crumples to the ground. Police say there is more for an officer on the other side of the fence pulls the trigger and shoots him in the back of the head. Isaiah crumples to the ground. Police say there is more to this story than just how it ended. Body cam footage from one of the officers shows that it started about a minute earlier when a car that was driven by Isaiah's brother was stopped at a shopping center. Backward. Both had been suspected of a deadly shooting that happened the day before. Down on your knees. Down on your knees. Isaiah takes off running. Police start chasing him across a road, then over the fence, and that's when you can hear the fatal shot. Sergeant Ray Villavazzo, the officer identified in the lawsuit as the one who pulled the trigger, said that during the chase, Isaiah reached for his waistband multiple times, and that's why the sergeant says he feared for his life. Police say Isaiah Marietta Golding was known to carry a gun, and he was on the grounds of a preschool when he was shot. The lawsuit, which was filed by Isaiah's mother, claims that during the foot chase, Isaiah never threatened an officer or made any threatening gestures, and that nothing Isaiah might have done justified the use of deadly force. Stuart Chandler is the family attorney.
You can't say that every time an officer fires a gun, it's automatically okay. There has to be a line where you say, this is not acceptable, and this is one of those cases.
So the police in Fresno say Isaiah's then 17-year-old brother, who was in the car with him before the shooting, was arrested and pleaded guilty to the murder the brothers were suspected of committing. But the family's lawyer says that shouldn't matter here.
Police have to answer a lot of questions. You look at the video, he's still running away, and he's shot through a fence, David, from the back.
Yeah, a bullet shouldn't be used in a case of pursuit, it would seem to me.
Right.
But I guess the police are saying.
He looked like he was grabbing his pants, not grabbing his waistband. I guess when you're there on the scene, you don't know.
Yeah, there's a
don't
lot
know.
of commotion in a scene like that, but it does appear he's just running away.
It'll all come down to what the jury decides. The police say it was justified.
All right.
Will 12 members of a jury agree?
We shall see. Thank you very much, David.
But the problem is that when you ask that question, then how many times has this happened before, where the person was unarmed or not connected to any other crime? Why is it that for some reason they just seem to have this tendency? Why is that acceptable? I mean, even if he's involved in a murder, does he have the right to not be shot while fleeing? Is basically the question. But here, let's play. Let's see what's going on here.
Please.
Okay.
And you said.
I know, but I don't want him to hurt anybody, okay?
He's not killing anybody. David, David, I break my hand. Hey, you have to be careful.
Stop.
Back
up.
I know. Hey, what are you doing? I'm gonna hurt you. Hey, what is that? Hey, bro. Hey, stop it. Hey, I'm not hurting you. Autism. He has epilepsy.
You need to put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Stop.
I'm not hurting no one.
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm not hurting no one. Hey, bro.
You have to.
Bro. This is how you. Okay.
I know, but you're not helping.
Okay. Bro.
Okay.
Please. I'm not.
Put your hands behind your back.
I know that.
Put your hands behind your back.
Okay. I'm not. Hey, bro.
Put your hands behind your back. I'm not hurting you. We have to get his hands behind his back. Okay?
Hey, I swear.
5 George 22, then it's take 3.
No. It's okay. No. Bro. David, he's trying to help you. No. He's trying to help you. We're gonna help you. Okay, yeah. He's trying to help you. He's gonna help you. He's gonna help you. It's okay.
I know, we're going to try to get him help. He's not himself right now. Okay.
What the?
Yes. Let's get him outside to the ambulance. Back up, back up, back up. Back up. Let's go this way.
Why am I going to jail?
You're not going to jail. We're going to get you help in an ambulance.
Yeah, but there's no reason for you to put me in handcuffs.
Okay.
Or is it? Give me a good reason. Take him out, please, right now. I'm not hurting no one. I'm only hurting my damn self. This is a tie. Hey. Listen, bro. Bro, I'm not here to do it.
Let's get him inside the car.
No, I'm not getting inside your car. Hey, stop. Take that off, bro. My leg. What the?
Back up.
No.
Back up. Back up.
He's hitting his head. He's gonna
Go to that side. Okay, he's having a seizure. Let's bring him aside. Bring him outside. Okay. Recovery position. We're fine. Okay, we have an ambulance on the way.
Have him lay on his side.
5 George 22. We have the civic detained. We're gonna need an ambulance. Code 3. Five George 22. We need more units to show the family.
You are making him way more mad than he needs to be.
No. Code 3
bro. David? Let me out here, dude. I swear. You're fine. No, I'm pushing my button, dude. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. Look, you're scaring Matt. You're scaring Matt. What's all this for? Let me go. I swear. I'm not hurting no one, bro. I swear to God, dude. Okay. Let me go. Let me go, man. Juan Carlos. What the f***?
my hand like that. Take
I'm not touching your hands, okay?
No, take them off. Please, sir, just grab my hand. I'm not gonna hurt no one. Just don't leave. Take it off my hand, bro. So, you better take it off. They hurt.
Look, you're fine. Look, okay, come on. You need to calm down because if you get crazy, David.
We have an ambulance on the way for him, okay? We know. We have an ambulance on the way.
Oh, God, let me out.
Your freaking mom out.
No, let me out.
Your freaking mom out. Relax.
Go. Get me up.
No.
Get me up right now. I swear.
Can you get her back?
You're fine.
Hey, don't come
No. Why am I going to jail? I didn't do nothing.
Not going to jail. You will not go to jail.
Well, take them off
We
me,
cannot. We cannot do
Why?
that.
Why? I'm not hurting no one. I'm just hurting myself. Because I don't know how to control it.
I know, and we're gonna get you an
Then why
ambulance.
you have to put me
We
in
have
the
help coming on the way, okay? Because I can't let you hurt yourself or anyone else.
Well, you could grab me, no?
Okay?
There's no reason for you to put these.
Listen,
David?
listen. Lee, keep her back.
Hey, bro, let me just
No.
get up.
Cannot.
I'm sitting down in my throat. Let me back up.
You're not in your vomit.
Yes, I
You are
am.
not
You
touching
better let me back up.
You are not touching it.
Bro, let me get up. Hey, watch out. You're stepping on me.
We don't want you to kick us, okay?
I'm not going to kick you. I'm not that stupid.
So apparently he was having an epileptic seizure when they came across him and decided they had to handcuff him so he doesn't hurt anybody. So yeah.
To make sure you're I'm not that stupid. To make sure you're not I'm not that stupid. Okay. Dude.
No.
Hey, what the?
The 16-year-old boy.
Dog, my shoulders are hurting. Take this handcuffs off me, please. No, put us in my bottom, bro. Hey,
Stand up. Sit down.
There we go.
Don't get up.
What the? What am I? No, I'm not telling them to take it off.
Okay, you want that? They're not gonna. I told them
They
not to
take
take
it.
it
I
off.
swear to God. What? You're gonna swallow.
David,
I'm gonna make you.
I'm
gonna make you lose your job, bro. I don't know why you're harassing.
You're fine.
You guys are harassing.
Ronnie, I got him. If you want to step out, you want to talk to her. I don't know what you want to do. Okay. Well, they don't want to talk to me. Okay. I'll tell you that right now. They're not going to talk to me.
Second EMS for you?
No, I'm okay.
Bro, why are you harassing
We
me?
just need a supervisor out here to deal with mom.
like I'm trying to tell you
Go
what's
ahead.
going on.
Yeah, we understand, but we can't let him be loose inside there fighting with you guys. Okay?
I'm not gonna hit you.
I don't want you spitting on me. You just spit right now.
I'm spinning that way, but
Okay.
I can't.
I don't know what your intent is when you turn around.
We know. And we're going to get him help. We have an ambulance on the way. Okay?
But take it off me. I'm not gonna hurt my back. Bro, just take it off me right now.
We're gonna call Kaylin.
Going for you? No.
We're gonna call Kaylin, and she's gonna talk.
No. Are you with Clapper? We're code 4. Thank you.
Bro, that's hella stress.
My hand's nowhere near your throat, man.
You need a
Just
break.
don't stand up.
Okay.
Don't stand up.
You think I'm that stupid? How many are they? There's a lot of cooks. I don't need you guys to push my damn blood. I'm not that stupid. Just a officer. You think I want to end up just in jail? What the fuck? What time to take this off me?
Figured it was best to clear him.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yo no le estoy haciendo nada.
You understand.
Look, you need to focus and relax. You're not going anywhere.
Relax.
I'm not sure. I think it might be mom or the restaurant. He was actively fighting with them and the family. They were in the bathroom.
Nothing's wrong. We're trying to help you.
How are they trying to help me? They have me.
Your seizures have you acting a little bit crazy, okay? You need to
Okay, what just
Ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me what's going on with him.
Well, he has epilepsy. He has autism. He don't act like that. He won't want to hit you, and you came and you hit in the head.
I did not hit him.
Yes, I see when you push it.
No,
okay,
no.
I asked for help, not for you. I can't kill my son. You need to take it to the hospital so that way they can control it.
He's going to the hospital.
Yes,
We have an
but
ambulance
you
here.
have to be very careful. He has autism, and then he has epilepsy.
Okay,
He
but
was
he's
in the
fighting with
hospital.
you.
No, it was not fighting.
With her.
No, it was
We
not
get
fighting.
911 calls.
Yes.
Listen.
He was not fighting with me. You know,
What
he
happened
tried.
today? Can you tell me what happened
Okay,
today?
he went to the restaurant and he don't respond. So I tried to open the door and he don't know how to open the door. He started hitting himself. He don't hit nobody.
Okay.
No, he's not gonna hit you. And you came here and you put in there. That's
He's not in trouble. He's not in trouble. Okay.
Yeah, but you don't supposed to hit. You know, he has brain damage.
I did not hit him.
Yes, I see you.
No.
I have a picture.
No, I never hit him. Okay?
And you push it. You push it. If you came and talked to him like that, he's gonna come down.
Okay.
Hello. Yes, may I speak to the social worker?
Doug, she's not going to talk to me.
She just talked to you, buddy.
His shoulder hurts, that's why I released him. His RB, so I started talking to him.
Bro, you sound like you can't
He's trying to stand up.
You're hurting my head.
What's gonna happen? We're gonna help you stand up.
Yeah.
You talked to Sarge.
Yeah.
Yeah, autism. Yeah, that's a sad situation there. But apparently there's going to be a lawsuit, obviously, because or a possible lawsuit. But what do y'all think about that? I mean, do the police have the right to detain somebody that they're not arresting, that hasn't committed a crime? What was the whole point here? This guy is with his family, his mother, and who is this, a sister?
Please.
Okay.
And they trying to detain him. This is weird.
But I don't want him to hurt anybody, okay?
He's not killing anybody. David.
Is this proper procedure? All right, but in any case, let's
Disturbing
go
new
back.
video is shedding light on.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be a norm, like going on in terms of people who are not armed being confronted by the police and the circumstances not turning out well, but also children who just are not armed. Yeah, I mean, let alone other people. But I wanted to start with the child mortality thing, just with children, because yeah, it seems like often this is happening with kids that are seen as adults. Yeah, and for some reason, are treated as adults when they're really not, or seen as adults. I mean, yeah, actually, there's loads of these incidents. Let me see here. Child shot by police. Boom. Here we go. Yeah, this was the 11-year-old in the home. 12-year-old boy have a shootout with the cops. Now, this one was different, ironically, if you think police deal with things differently. This is a 12-year-old boy. I believe he lived a shootout. Let's see here. He had a shootout with the police, and he lived. Let's see here. Now, you got to ask yourself, if they're busy shooting unarmed people, then what's going on here?
We're getting our first look at the 12-year-old boy who cops say opened fire at deputies along with a 14-year-old girl. Today he was in court, and considering his age, it's hard to fathom the charges he's facing. Many news outlets have decided to show his face, even though he's a minor, because of the seriousness of the incident and the charges. Les Trent reports.
He looks like he could be in the principal's office for some silly prank at school,
But this 12-year-old is in huge trouble with the law.
You're also charged with attempted first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer.
Travis O'Brien and a 14-year-old girl are accused of opening fire on cops during a 30-minute shootout.
Shots fired. Everybody get hard cover.
They were coming out to kill cops.
The 12-year-old did not speak during today's hearing, at which the judge referred to.
I'm sorry, but something just doesn't seem right about this. The dude said they were coming out to kill cops. And then when you look at them, I mean, can you imagine that they would be coming out to kill cops? Or is there a misunderstanding? Are they scared? Is something else going on here? I don't know. I'm just putting that out there. But
to him as Mr. O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien.
Cops say the boy and the girl ran away from a home for troubled youth. They broke into a house and found 2 shotguns, an AK-47, and a handgun. When cops arrived, the girl reportedly said to the boy, "I'm going to roll this down like GTA," referring to the violent video game Grand Theft Auto.
Shooting out the rear window toward my direction.
Deputies ducked for cover behind trees.
They just busted out the window in the back. Stand by. Female has a shotgun in her hand. Stand by. Put the guns down now! She's got the AK.
Look, this is like a clear 2 different ways of dealing with this. It's ridiculous. I mean, they're being held down by 2 teenagers, 12 and 14, I think, runaways from a juvenile home, and they say they're going to let it down. But check out how the police respond. Now, this is 2 people, and look at how the police respond. You know, we've seen plenty of situations where young people have had their hands up, no weapon, and getting shot in cold blood by police. But this is a different situation here.
And the shotgun. She's wrapping around the top of her neck.
Then came the stunning realization that they were being fired upon by children.
Hey guys, just hold behind hard cover. Let's not shoot these kids, man. Let's just hold on. Take our time. 10-4, they're shooting at me. She's re-racking around inside.
You hear that? Let's just hold on and take our time. These are kids. You see that 12 and 14-year-old? Wow, they noticed that they were kids and they held off. You know, this is weird. This is weird. It's a different way of dealing with it, with armed suspects. But these kids really did have arms.
The shotgun. All right, let's not engage them anymore. Let's not challenge them. Just hold behind hard cover. We're just going to hang out here.
You can hear one.
Let's not engage them anymore. Let's not challenge them. Now, in Chicago, we just saw them chase a man with a weapon into a school, and a kid runs the opposite direction, like he's coming from the direction the man is running towards, and the police are shooting at the man, and they have no clue if another kid is just going to spring out there and run. That's in Chicago. Where the hell is this happening? What town is this? I mean, please don't tell me this is also Chicago. This is in Florida, okay? This is in Florida where this is happening. All right, so let's continue.
Officer praying it doesn't end badly.
Don't let me do this. Don't do this.
You can hear the restraint of the deputies pleading not to have to use their guns.
Cops say the girl, seen in this photo given to the news media by her father, was shot and wounded when she refused orders to drop the shotgun and opened fire from behind a parked car.
And she lived. She lived.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, at least 10 bullet holes.
30 seconds later, young Travis O'Brien came out of the house with his hands raised.
They shot through the bedroom window. They shot.
And he was not shot with his hands up.
From the garage door. I mean, this is like Bonnie and Clyde.
Now it's nighttime. They can see everything. They weren't worried about a wallet or a finger looking like a gun.
Now these juvenile Bonnie and Clyde desperados have to face the music.
You're also charged with attempted first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer.
I mean, and they was in a juvenile home and got really good treatment by the police. I mean, this is a stark contrast from what we saw before. Yeah, I almost forgot about that case. Now let me see here. Let me go back because yeah, this is damn. Apparently, there's children involved in shootouts with the police. Yeah, but let me see here. Brave 14-year-old protects his little stranger with a gun. Right. And hit unarmed man with his gun. Okay, this is not a child, but this is clearly another incident. Yeah. 14-year-old boy shot by police brandishing knives at school was bullied. Is that acceptable? You have a knife, you get shot.
The father of a knife-wielding 14-year-old shot by a cop as dozens of high school students looked on is coming to his son's defense. He was being bullied, the dad writes on Facebook. He brought the knives because he was going to be jumped, and he was. The school knew of this and failed to act. The shooting took place at a high school in Reno, Nevada. Back up! Back up! You can see the teenager flailing around and failing to obey an order to drop the knives.
Bro, he just shot the kid.
Shots fired with a student down.
There was 2 juveniles fighting. One had a knife. He's the one that's down.
As you can imagine, in a high school setting, there were cell phone cameras everywhere. Student Eduardo Ayala says he was threatened with suspension for posting his video on social media.
The kid with both knives, he's just like looking everywhere. And then all of
From the wounded teen. From this angle, you can see the cop kicking the knife away from the wounded teen. The cop then gives him medical attention. But the teen's dad wants to know why the cop used his gun in the first place. Tell, if you can, why the officer pulled his sidearm and not his taser. We spoke to security expert Bill Stanton.
Is that a good question? Why pull the firearm and not the taser?
Based on what I'm looking here, with these students milling around, with this young man running around with a knife and not obeying lawful commands, this is a lawful shooting, in my opinion.
The teenager has caused headaches for his family before. He posted this video, he's on the left, fighting with another kid last year. In September, his dad wrote, "My son has been missing since he left for school Monday morning. If anyone has seen him or knows of his whereabouts, please contact me right away. I am worried."
So that's a 14-year-old. He was shot. He was brandishing a weapon. Yeah, he was brandishing a weapon. So, yeah. I'm not sure how that plays out in people's minds. 14-year-old shot by a cop, Nevada high school. So he's new to high school, has come to his right defense. Yeah, he's new to high school. He's getting bullied. And apparently they say the high school did nothing. Whose fault is that? You know, right. Is there something being missed here? I mean, the kid feels like he needs to have a knife to protect himself in a school environment and where he's getting bullied, right? And I mean, I don't know how many of you have had to deal with bullies, you know, in your life and think about bringing a weapon or defending yourself with a weapon. You know, in high school, I never had that problem about weapons because I was still, when I started high school, we were still dealing with the fighting with your hands dynamic, you know, in 85, 86, this kind of thing. But, you know, things did change. And then, you know, even as a teenager, just having a weapon, a gun, was definitely a better idea, but whether you carry it with you all the times or what have you, it's kind of a sad situation when you got kids feeling like they have to have weapons to be safe. But that's what's going on in a lot of places right now. So that's how it is. Let's see. And it's considered normal. Look, this guy had a shootout. Multiple sources confirm 18-year-old is one of the teens Friday morning's deadly shooting involving Memphis police. All right, let me go back because I don't want to. It is a teenager, but I don't want to get away from this thing about unarmed kids. Let me see here, being assaulted or being approached by police. Damn, son knocks guy out for harassing mother. Okay, bullied kid fights. Let me see here. Let's go back here. Okay. Yeah, this is the handcuffing. What's going on with this? Is this real? I mean, can you handcuff a kid, a fourth grader? I don't know. I guess you can. This is a little too much for me. Dad of 19 shot by police at school says son not a sociopath. I don't think so. I think he just been attacked, been bullied, man, like straight up. And he's defending himself. Yo, I mean, that's what this looks like to me. It looks like this kid is defending himself. It's sad that it had to come to this, that he's got knives in his hands. Obviously, he's been in a video before where he's boxing, and this time he brings a knife. But should a police officer come up? I mean, what do you do in that situation if you're a cop? I've seen a riot start, and I'm talking about a real riot. The riot, and I forget what year it was, but I was young. It's called the Mount Pleasant riots. I was hanging out in Mount Pleasant at that time because it was like a festival going on at that day, right? And you know, a drunk man or a man that was drinking some alcohol uh, had, the police officer asked him to not drink, which is weird because everybody's drinking on the street. And I think it's because he didn't have it covered up with a paper bag or something like that. But I think it was an immigrant. I'm not sure, if he is a recent immigrant or not, but there might have been some language issues there. But the guy, pulled a knife out, and he's like maybe two, three, maybe 3 meters away from the cop, right? But he pulls the knife out. Yeah, 2 or 3 meters, something like that. And the cop shoots him, and then it's a riot, a whole riot. People are like, damn, you just shot this man? He had a knife in his hand, though. And of course, you can make the argument that the man could throw it, but nobody saw the man trying to throw it. Who knows? But in any case, he got shot. The police officer shot the man. I forget if he lived, but that was the beginning of what they called the Mount Pleasant riots, and that went on for days. And people burnt down all kinds of stores, businesses, pretty much the big ones, not the small ones, but like CVS, Kentucky Fried Chicken got burnt down. Some things like this, it was wild. I actually was there. I witnessed it, and it's crazy. But in any case, I don't know. This is a child with a knife. This is not a grown man with a knife. This is a teenager with a knife in his hand. Do you think he was just scared, fighting for his life, didn't realize what was going on, even when the police come? And sometimes I wonder if police are more hyped up than the people who are involved in the situations. Damn, this is in Brazil. They just targeting kids down there. Here we go.
A 15-year-old boy is dead tonight after being shot and killed by San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies. They were responding to a 911 call of the suspect attacking family members yesterday afternoon. The Sheriff's Department released body cam footage of the confrontation that led to the shooting.
Hey, get back! Get back, you're gonna get shot!
The Sheriff's Department released the video from 2 deputy body cameras. The first angle shows the suspect coming at a deputy with what they say was a garden tool with a sharp-bladed end. The suspect ran toward the deputy with the tool and was shot. The second shows the confrontation from a deputy in the front yard of the home. 15-year-old Ryan Gaynor was taken to a nearby hospital where he died. The department's Special Investigations Division will lead the investigation into the shooting. And late tonight, we received a statement from Sheriff in the department's Special Investigations Division will lead the investigation into the shooting.
Well, he definitely got something in his hands.
And late tonight, we received a statement from Sheriff Shannon Dykes. It reads in part, our social safety net for those experiencing.
But this is a case of the suspect is approaching the police officer. The suspect is not with his hands up. The suspect is not fleeing, running the opposite direction away from the officer with his back turned. You know, this is clearly a person approaching the police with a stick or something like that in their possession, you know, and he looks like he's wielding it at the cops.
Experiencing mental health, mental illness needs to be strengthened. Our deputies handle seemingly insurmountable calls daily.
Our social safety net for those experiencing mental illness needs to be strengthened. Okay, that's what the police say. Our deputies handle seemingly unsurmountable calls daily. Most of these calls do not end in violence. However, this one ended in a tragedy for Ryan, his family, and for, okay.
Most of these calls do not end in violence. However, this one ended in tragedy for Ryan, his family, and for the deputies who responded.
I mean, what do y'all think right there? Is that mental? Was that mental illness?
A 15-year-old.
You know, to me, it looks like it could have been, but I don't know what the difference would have made. I don't know what the difference would have made, but me myself, I mean, I'm totally against this unarmed, you know, people getting shot and killed by police. I think that is police have been allowed to get by with that excuse. I thought I saw something. It seemed like he had something, or a suspect running while they're shooting the person. I don't know. And even the thing in Chicago where they went in after the suspect who looks like he has a weapon in his hand, the kid runs by him, the police are shooting. How the hell do the police not know that another child won't just run from the same direction? I mean, how can you take a gun in a place like that shooting? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, even if you're chasing a suspect, you don't want to kill people because you're chasing a suspect. You know, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But let me see here. What else is there? Let me see. Child, unarmed child shot by police. Okay, so this one comes up a lot, apparently. These ones, all right, let's see. What is this right here? Boom. Is this the same one? Whoa, we didn't. Fresno is hot, Donnie. Damn. Yo, Fresno is crazy. I can't believe this. This is like another Fresno thing.
Get down on the ground now! Get down on the ground now! Get your on the ground! Fresno Police Department! Drop whatever you have in your hand! If you come forward, you're gonna get shot, man! Get down on the ground now! Three Baker 12. Shots fired. Suspect down.
Yo, they
Start
shot.
EMS code 3.
They shot him. They got shotguns. Damn. What does this dude have? Oh, okay. One has a handgun. One has a shotgun. And what does this guy have behind his back? He got nothing. That was a big nothing. He's got nothing behind his back. Do you think some people do that out of like instinct, like, or like restraint, like, or without thinking? Is there something in this dude's hand? I don't see nothing in his hand at all. There's nothing in his hand. Did he fall on a weapon or something?
Fired. Suspect down. Start EMS code 3.
There's nothing. There's nothing. He had nothing in his hands. Damn, bro. Yo, Fresno, man, they get a lot of people getting shot out there with nothing in their hands, bro. Like, this is crazy. Being approached by police, even. I don't even like being. I don't. I can control myself, but I definitely don't like being approached by police when they're not listening. When they don't seem to be. When they seem more curious and putting their hands on you first, getting you under restraints without explaining what the hell they're doing, what the problem is, but this right here, this dude, he ain't got no weapon. I didn't see any weapon fall on the ground. But let's see. He just
down
had
on
his
the ground
hand behind his
now!
back.
Get down on the ground now! Get your on the ground! Fresno Police Department!
And I believe this is a teenager. This is a teenager. So even though the video looks a little grimy, they can look at this person and see this is a teenager, yo.
Drop whatever you have in your hand. If you come forward, you're gonna get shot, man. Get down on the ground now.
They shot his ass.
3 Baker 12. Shots fired. Suspect down. Start EMS code 3. Let me see your hands.
They still
Keep your
talking
hands
to him.
up. We cannot see his hands.
What if he can't understand what the hell they're saying?
Keep your hands up.
Wait a second.
Keep your hands up. We cannot see his hands.
Somebody just shot another gun, yo.
Dude, keep your hands out. Quit reaching for what you got. Keep your hands out. Dude, if you reach one more time, you will get shot again. Stop. Dude.
The dude shot him again. He shot him with the shotgun. Yo, this is crazy. And they're telling the man, don't move your hands, don't move your hands. But can you help but to move your hands when you've been shot? I mean, goddamn. It's not natural to not move your hands when you've been shot. I mean, that's not natural, That is, when was this? God damn, man. How old was this man? His name was Dylan Noble. He died. Wait a second. Whoa. That's not the same video. This is Dylan Noble died in June after police shot him 4 times, twice as he approached officers, twice while he was on the ground still moving. Okay, so, and now this one is police officer shooting 14-year-old, just 0.6 seconds warning. Okay. Damn.
Show me your hands. Drop it.
Fiber 33. I think it's a cap gun, but they are shooting something off.
Show me your hands! Drop it!
Yo, you can't do that. You cannot do this. How can you walk up on somebody like this who's on private property? It's not the police's property. Even though it's not their property, it's not the police's property. And they walk up on the person and say, show me your hands, and start shooting. 0.6 seconds. Show me your hands. Pow, 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 pow. I mean, they barely got finished saying, show me your hands. This is crazy.
Drop the gun!
They have not used any time to find out what is going on. Is anything going on that's a crime? What's happening? Can you even see through there? Do you see a crime going on? This is crazy. This is a 14-year-old boy messing around in his own neighborhood on an property, abandoned property, and the police approach him.
33. I think it's a cap gun, but they are shooting something off.
I think it's a cap gun, but they are shooting something off. So, okay. Anybody can tell that's not a gun being fired, man.
Show me your hands! Drop it! Drop the gun!
Shots fired, shots fired. Black male with a gray hoodie had the gun. Where you hit?
My side. My right side.
Alright, I got fire and IMSA coming.
Alright, no, it's on my side.
Alright.
Yes! To me!
It's like my hip.
47 on fire, here we go.
Yeah. You're okay. I got fire and IMSA coming. I don't want to stand you up and have you walk. Okay, I want you to just stay right there. Because I don't want anything to move or anything like that, okay? You're not gonna die. Alright? You're not gonna die. Fire and IMSA is on their way. Just stay still.
Okay.
Yes, sir. The victim. Gunshot victim. Yeah. I just don't want to move him until fire and IMSA get here because it's in his hip.
Is he bleeding back?
No, it's. Are you hurt anywhere else other than your hip?
My thigh.
Which thigh?
My left thigh.
I don't have any gloves on me. I don't see blood. Where on your thigh? Oh, right there. Yep. 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 No. No. Oh. Go ahead for 5%.
Hey, we'll stay here with this guy.
I'll call you.
So that shooting was declared justified by the police. What do y'all think about that? I mean, is that justified? Does that seem like it's justified? What does that mean exactly? Justified. Let me just bring this back here. Okay, 2 seconds. Right. Okay. They don't have the medical bills, including $1,300 ambulance ride. Oklahoma County District Attorney determined the shooting was justified. Okay, so what rights do you have? What rights did the young man violate? What did he do wrong that required him to be shot by the police? Did the police do everything correctly? How can you determine the difference between a BB gun and a real gun? The officer mentioned that it sounds like they have a BB gun or something like that when they were approaching. How can you determine what is going on by looking through a crack in a gate? How can you determine you're under threat? Did the young man point the gun at him? Is that what the police officer is saying? Can you see that through the crack of the gate? Can you see that he's pointing the gun? Did the young man testify that he pointed the gun at the officers? What I mean, I didn't see anything so far that would lead me to believe a crime is going on. Breaking into a home, has that been established? No. So there's not burglary going on. Is it, the property was abandoned? I don't know. To me, it seems like that the way that the law is practiced is that there's an assumption that you should have been approaching this person in the first place, that there's reasoning, good enough reasoning for you to approach this person. Now, sure, they got a call, people saying it's a burglary. That wasn't true. The home was abandoned. There's a child on the property, most likely from the neighborhood. Kids are wandering around all the time. It's a 14-year-old kid. The kid obviously is in there shooting a BB gun. What is illegal about it? Yeah, where was the crime? And should police be able to figure that out without shooting him? Yeah, that's the question here. Yeah, here we go. So in the U.S. news today, the Oklahoma City officer gave a teen a 0.6 second warning before firing his gun. Is 0.6 seconds enough time to comply? 911 call incorrectly reported 2 burglars at the abandoned house. 14-year-old Lorenzo Clerkley was with friends playing with a BB gun in daylight. Clerkley was shot in the right hip and left eye by the police officer after being given less than a second to comply. So that means, Clerkley's Jr.'s family is filing a civil rights claim against the police department. Clerkley missed 3 weeks of school recovering from injuries. The family does not have health insurance and can't afford the medical bills, including the $1,300 ambulance ride. Okay, so right. So what was wrong? And I'm not trying to blame the police. I'm just curious about how people deal with that and where what you think could be better done by the police. Okay, I'm just going to switch over now for a second and to look at this story here about a woman who's, police shooting armed woman during a traffic stop. Okay, this is an armed woman. Yeah, let's check it out and see what they say here. There's no audio. Yeah, there's no audio. Yeah, I don't know. 2 seconds. Let me see if I can fix that. If that's on my side or not. I don't think it's on my side though. Yeah, the audio's up. So let's see here again. Okay, you can see the woman has a cell phone in her hand.
Wrong, by the way, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I ain't gonna let my leg fucked up. All right, well, you still have to come out the vehicle. Once I tell you to step out the vehicle, you have to step out the vehicle. What is it? 16 to what? After the single unit. 7672. 15 to call them after a female unit. 7672. Come on, let's go today, shorty. Alright, shit. I'm sitting on my coat though. Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. Let me see. Hey, let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. Good one. Shots fire! Shots fire! Put your hands up! Shots fired. Shots fired by the police. From the police. Stick your hands out! Stick them all the way out! Get off the vehicle slowly! Don't move your hands, don't move! Keep your hands up!
Shorty, do what they say, shorty. On my life, do what they say, shorty. Do what they say. Put your hands up, shorty. Do what they say, shorty. Do what they say, shorty. Do what they say.
I know it's hit.
Bro, get y'all hands up.
Don't move your head, don't move your head. Bro, oh my, get y'all man. Don't move, keep your hands. She's on. She's not going to shoot back. Do not hit her. Please do not hit her.
All right, I got both of her hands.
She's not going to shoot back.
There's both of her hands right there. Get them out of here.
Get the other one. Get the other one.
Get back.
Yeah, there's no sound through parts of the videos, but it cuts on when they yeah. I don't know when if they can control it themselves or what the deal is. But this is obviously not a police this is not from a vehicle this side, this angle. Now, it doesn't show us from the body cam footage that we saw so far what happened, right? Yeah, what went wrong. The video, it says it was an armed woman, so presumably they found a weapon in the car, but did she pull a weapon? That remains to be seen. I'm gonna fast forward.
By the way, right?
Here we go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I ain't gonna let my leg fucked up. All right, well, you still have to come out the vehicle. Once I tell you to step out the vehicle, you have to step out the vehicle. You know. What is it? 16 to what? After the female unit. You know. 7672. 15 to call them after a female unit. 7672. Come on, let's go today, shorty. Alright, shit. I'm sitting on my coat though. Let me see your hand. 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 Let me see your hands. Shots fired! Shots fired!
Yeah, it doesn't appear that she fired any weapon fired at the police. But let's see here.
Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands.
Is she?
Let me see your hands.
It looked like she might have a weapon. Like she might be firing off. Yeah, because of the way the glass is breaking and her body movements seem kind of pointed, you could say.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Put your hands up! Shots fired! Shots fired by the police! From the police!
It's no passenger. There's no passenger in the car.
Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands.
You see that? The way the glass broke out? Right here, right. You see that? The back window? I don't think anybody's in that car right now, but
Shots fired! Shots fired! Put your hands up! Shots fired! Shots fired by the police! From the police! Stick your hands out! Stick them all the way out! Get off the vehicle slowly!
Don't move.
Keep your hands up!
Shorty, do what they say, shorty. On my life, do what they say, shorty. Do what they say. Put your hands up, shorty. Shorty, do what they say, shorty. Do what they say, shorty. Do what they say.
Right on intent.
Bro, get y'all head on. Don't move your head. Don't move. Bro, oh my, get y'all head on. Don't move. Just keep your head.
She's
She's not gonna shoot back. Do not hit her. Please do not hit her.
All right, I got both of her hands.
She's not gonna shoot back.
There's both of her hands right there. Get them out of here. Get the other one. Get the other one. Yeah. She's not responding anymore. Put your hands up.
Put your hands up. You got the right. I got the right. You want to grab her? She's not moving. She's not. Don't move your head. I got you. Go ahead. I got you. I got cover. Austin. Get off the car. Get off the car. Okay? Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. She's a female. She's a female. Yeah, roll your mask. Where's the shot?
You guys good?
Yeah,
Look at this one. Look at this one. You see it?
Yeah, I saw it. It's here. It's on the other side. I saw it out the window too. Did you see it? I did.
Yeah, I know. I know.
oh, Pumpkin, you seen two people? You seen I saw two passengers laying on the ground. They were handcuffed. I didn't see anybody in the car. It doesn't look like there's anybody else in the car except the lady. But let me just rewind it a little bit. Yeah, there's nobody else in the car. There's I believe, I'm not sure, but it looked like the lady was firing at them. But
you see it?
So the passengers
were
already taken out. Here we go.
You want to grab her?
You see? Those are the passengers right there.
All right.
Yeah, see, I don't see anybody else in that car from this view, but
I got both of her hands. She's not going to shoot back.
There's nobody else. There's nobody. They wouldn't go. They were asking to see her hands. That's because she's the person in the car. and they wouldn't go and move these two other passengers that are on the they're outside of the car, laying on the ground behind the car. They wouldn't go over there if there's another person in the car that they can't secure or see their hands with. So
Right there. Keep them out of there.
just listen to the dialogue here. You will see.
All right, I got both of her hands. You're not going to shoot back. There's both of her hands right there. Keep them out of here.
You see?
Get the other one. Get the other one.
There's two passengers, but they were already seated behind the car on the street. But so they're not in the car right now. The shooting hasn't happened. I don't think.
Yeah. She's not responding anymore.
Oh, okay. This is right after.
Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
Oh, right. That was right after. No, but still, Pumpkin. They're handcuffed. You see? Let's go back.
All right, I got both of her hands. You're not going to shoot back. There's both of her hands right there. Keep them out of here. Get the other one. Get the other one.
Yeah, I'm sitting on my coat though.
Let me see your hand.
You see? There's nobody there, Pumpkin. You see? You see the back of the car? It's nobody inside the car. It's just this lady at this point. So let's play some more.
Yeah, I'm sitting on my coat though.
Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. Let me see. Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. Shots fired! Shots fired! Put your hands up! Shots fired! Shots fired by the police! From the police! Stick your hands out! Stick them all the way out! Off the vehicle slowly! Just like by the police.
This is the other camera angle. They're trying to get the woman to come out of the car. She says her leg is hurt, and then some shooting starts. I believe it's the police that started the shooting, but it looks like she fired off a shot through the back window. Like,
by the way, right?
So
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Let's look at this.
I ain't gonna let my leg fucked up.
All right, well, you still have to come out of the vehicle. Once I tell you to step out the vehicle, you have to step out the vehicle. You know.
What is it? 16 to what? After the single unit.
You know.
7-6-7-2.
It's clear they don't suspect her as having a weapon right at this point. They don't have any firearms drawn on the woman at this point.
7-6-7-2.
Come on, let's go today, shorty.
Alright, shit. I'm sitting on my coat though.
Let me see your hand. Let me see your hand. Let me see. Hey, look. Let me see your hand. 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 Your hands. Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Put your hands up! Shots fired! Shots fired by the police! From the police! Stick your hands out! Stick them all the way out! Get off the vehicle slowly!
Hey, shorty. On my life, do what they say, shorty.
She got both of her hands. There's both of her hands right there. Get them out of here. Get the other one. Get the other one. Yeah. She's not responding anymore. Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
You got the light? You got a camera? She's not moving. Don't move your head. I got it. Go ahead. I got cover. Austin. Get off the car. Okay? Talk to me.
I gotta say something here. Not that this, I don't know how much this plays a role in how these things go down, but I don't see one black police officer, and they're arresting 3 black people. Look at this is a troop of police officers. They're in Chicago. There's not one black police officer on the scene yet. Not that it appears to be. I mean, really, to me that seems kind of strange. I'm not saying that played into this incident, but sometimes things can play into a situation that may not be so obvious either. You notice, you see what I mean? Like, but I just find that really strange. Chicago, all of these police officers show up as 3 black folks in a car, and There's not one black officer there. I'm not saying that the black officer would have reacted differently, but that's, to me, that's a little weird.
Yeah, roll your mask. Ready, start.
You guys good?
You
Hold
okay?
this one. This one.
You see it? Yeah, I saw it. It's here. It's on the other side. I saw it out the window too. Did you see it? I did.
Yeah, I know.
It's there. I know.
No, I know.
You okay?
I was right here.
Hey,
good, Square?
Make sure they stay back.
Square's good?
Rudy! Make sure you gotta be protected right
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a bug right here.
Hey, Square good?
Where is the ambulance? The woman has been shot. Where is the ambulance? How many minutes is this? Let me go back. I mean, I'm going to count this.
Really sorry.
You guys good? Hold this one.
I mean, they said shots fired a long time ago.
Talk to me.
This is like shots fired is. That's 4 minutes ago.
Yeah,
Shots
roll your
fired.
mask. Really sorry.
You guys good? Hold
okay?
this one.
You see it? Yeah, I saw it. It's here. It's on the other side. I saw it out the window too. Did you see it? I did.
Yeah, I know.
It's there.
I know. No, I know.
You okay? Okay? Talk to me.
Okay, so she's obviously shot right here at 8 minutes.
Yeah, roll your mask. Really sorry.
You guys good? Hold
okay?
this one.
You see it? Yeah, I saw it. It's here. It's on the other side. I saw it out the window too. Did you see it? I did.
Yeah, I know.
It's there.
I know. No, I know.
You okay?
I was right here.
Hey,
good, Square?
Make sure they stay back.
Square's good?
Rudy! Make sure you gotta be protected right
Yeah.
Yeah, so they still waiting for an ambulance, basically.
There's a bug right here.
Hey, Square good?
Did you get the information together?
Sit on that.
Yeah.
Make sure he's good.
7672, show me on the way there.
Keep them back.
72, 10-4, get you over that way.
Yeah, who you pull? Yeah.
Yeah, 6 make way for the ambulance. The ambulance has been ordered up. 6 make way for the ambulance. Hey, dude, it's the suspect that got shot, right? No police.
76, 72, I think you can take a slow down. Just make sure the ambulance is rolling.
Got ambulance rolling.
That one.
Sí, aquí está. Okay.
90, you're going over there.
You did. We were actually the officers that were involved in this, so we're gonna have someone else to sit on this.
That's fine. No, that's fine. Just make sure you sit here until you get released. So you gotta preserve that.
No, that was me. No officers injured.
Yo, that's crazy. No
Sergeant,
ambulance have come to pick this lady up yet. This is
someone's got to sit on
crazy.
there. Stand over there. Started the shot.
Okay. So you don't talk to anyone. Who else?
You fired? I did.
Where's scored at?
Turn to the car.
Camera. Turn the camera off.
That is weird. No ambulance. No ambulance came. That was like 3 minutes after. Yeah. Now I want to get back off of that. What do y'all think about that? Is that alarming, or? I mean, it appears that the woman was in the wrong, but yeah, there's a lot that goes into this kind of stuff. But so far, we've seen some pretty strange events outside of that. Now, this is cop pulls gun on pregnant mom over her 4-year-old alleged mistake. Let's see what this is all about.
Get out the fucking car right now. Yes, get out now. Get out the fucking car. Get out the fucking car right now. Yes, get out now. Get out the fucking car.
Your doll, can't be. Listen, a doll was allegedly taken and people have their guns pulled out on this lady. This is crazy. And it's allegedly a 4-year-old that takes is this normal? Is this normal? I mean, is it like we gonna get this doll back over, you're gonna take this doll over our dead bodies, or what is this? This is out there. Right?
You're gonna get shot. Get your Get out the car. Get out the car right now. Yes, get out now. Get out the car. Put your hands up. I don't give a
Don't let me find out this is Fresno.
hands up. Hands up. When I tell you to do something, you do it. You're not complying with me. When I tell you to do something, you do it. I am. I'm complying with everything. Hey, right now, shut your mouth.
This is Gestapo treatment.
Shut your mouth.
And look, can you imagine it's your own tax dollars paying for it?
Get the other feet down. When I tell you to put your baby,
Hey! Whoa, sir, come down! What's going on here? Oh, we live here. Attacking a lady, man? Really?
Put your child down.
Damn, this is in Phoenix, Arizona.
That's how y'all treat black people, huh?
Can someone just like, defuse the situation here? Good too.
Yes, get out now. Get out the fucking car.
It's more than one officer.
You're gonna get shot! Get your out of
Get out the fucking car! Get out the fucking car right now! Yes, get out now! Get out the fucking car! Put your hands up! I don't give a Put your hands up! Hands up!
Yo, this man has his weapon drawn. He's got his weapon drawn on her. She's got a 4-year-old child and a 1-year-old child, I believe. Or is she pregnant? Something like that. It's a 4-year-old, and then let's see. But this is crazy. See, this is more than one officer. This is two. Look, and he's like yelling at this dude. Break your feet. Let me see what he said. Let me slow this down. This is crazy. Let me see.
When I'm trying to do something, you do it. I'm not. You're not complying with me. When I'm trying to do something, you do it. I am. I'm complying with everything. Hey, right now, shut your mouth.
Look at all these police officers are out here, man. This is crazy. And they sitting, oh man, they caught them red-handed. Thank God for video camera footage. Yeah, because this is totally wrong. And look who's doing it. I mean, it kind of shows you this is like a problem. It's not necessarily white and black. There's some, I don't know, is this guy white even though he's Hispanic, or is he brown? I don't know. But yeah, there's a bunch of non-black people treating some black folk like this. Look at this. And this is over an alleged doll that was taken by the 4-year-old. How many of you have kids that have ever taken something out of a store and didn't even realize it? My kids, sometimes they pick up stuff and they're so happy to have it, they forget that they have it in their hand. Like, I forget to even look at it, like to look and even check my kids. As a matter of fact, I even think one day I went into a damn store and had something in my hand and was in such a rush. I put everything up on the counter except this one thing I had in my hand, had the nerve to pay for the rest of the shit and then leave. And then later I was like, damn, did I even pay for this? Like, that can easily happen, let alone with children, One and 4-year-old children with them, and she's pregnant.
You're gonna get shot! Get your out of
Get out the fucking car! Get out the
now.
None of them should ever work in any police department ever again. They should never be able to work with a weapon in their hands. This is crazy.
Get out the car. Put your hands up. I don't give a. Put your hands up. Hands up.
When I tell you to do something, you do it. You're not complying with me. When I tell you to do something, you do it. I am. I'm complying with everything. Okay, right now, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Get the other cheek out. No one else
This had to be extremely traumatic. Will you see that? What the? You see how he just walked up and pointed at her like this? Look at this. You see that? She's got the child in her arms. She got the child in her arms. You see him just walk up. This man, he's angry about something. Like he dislikes this whole scene. He's like totally up in arms. Like, what's wrong with this dude? This Gestapo treatment right here. This reminds me of Jim Crow. This reminds me of Jim Crow. This is exactly how it is. Like, you just minding your business. You just a regular person. Average shit happening over here, and all of a sudden, somebody is like talking to you like you violated every law on earth. How like you have a weapon in your hand, like you have assaulted somebody, like you have chased somebody down in the street, like you have been in a fight. This guy is like, they're completely compliant, and he is like behaving as if they're not complying at all.
Hey, whoa, sir, come down.
And if there were not other people there with a camera, they would have got away with this.
What's going on here?
Oh, we live here. Attacking a lady, man? Really? Get your child down.
He's telling her to put the child down.
And that's how y'all trick black people, huh? Can someone just defuse the situation here? Good.
Almost 3 times 2.5 times more than white Americans. That's what the statistic said at the end of this video. Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is happening everywhere. Look, cop pulls gun on 10-year-old in Michigan. Look, I'm not even looking for these cases. I just typed in unarmed child shot by police. That's what I typed in the search engine. Look at these cases. I mean, they're plentiful. They're plentiful. Look, this is a child with his hands up. Look at this.
Phone down now. Sit. Lay down.
Do you know how much police reform shit has been up on Congress' desk since long before this? And this is 2021. 2021, and this is happening. Like, And people have been talking about police brutality since Rodney King. You know what I'm saying? I mean, since before that, but since 94, no, 91, that's Rodney King. 1991 is Rodney King. Yep. Yep. When police apprehended the father 8 miles away from the mall, the officer allegedly pointed his gun at the boy and handcuffed him for a few minutes, the lawsuit states.
Hands. Put the phone down now. Sit. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Put the phone down. Stand up, okay? Stand up. You're good. Stand up. I got you. Hey, you're good. You're good. All right. Stand up. I got you. You're gonna be okay. Stand up. I got you. I'm gonna detain you for right now, okay? Let me get every phone. Let's set it on the ground so we don't break it. All right?
I didn't run from you. I didn't run from you.
Are you okay? It's fine. These come off just as easy. All right? Are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay.
Sorry, now we got two detained, car secure.
Can you put him in my pocket?
Two detained, 1534.
Is there anything in pockets we need to know about?
No, nothing.
All right.
Here, you can check.
You're okay, all right? Who's in the car with you? It's your dad? Okay. Do you know why he took off running?
Huh?
You know why he took off running?
No.
Okay. All right, he's gonna be okay too. Don't worry about it. All right. You're okay. Everything's gonna be fine.
Stop pulling away from me. Stop moving. Wow. Stop. Where's the sergeant? Stop. Get off of me, dude. Stop.
I'm gonna pull your mask up, okay? You're okay? You're not hurt at all?
No.
In the ambulance training?
I'm scared.
Everything's gonna be good. Don't worry about it. All right.
For units out on Jamesville, we're going to take the patch out and Interalcohol and Metro East. The detail will be on
Can I call my mom?
Yep, we'll let you make some phone calls in just a little bit, okay? He's okay. He's okay. He's all right. Here, do me a favor. Let's go over to this side of the car, okay? You're good. You're good. You're good. It's all right. Where's your mom at?
She's at home.
Okay. All right.
Why do y'all got my son in handcuffs, bro?
Here, let's go over to my car. We'll get you out of those handcuffs, all right?
Take him out of handcuffs.
Okay. I was actually just saying.
You see that? That's so weird. I mean, the guy says, "Why y'all got my son in handcuffs?" And then they decide to take him out of the handcuffs. This is weird.
Taking him over to the car to do it. All right, you're good. Do you want to call your mom?
Yeah.
All right, we can call your mom.
But why was he in the handcuffs in the first place? And then look, the boy has already requested to call his mom, and they didn't let him call his mom. But now they're asking him, "Do you want to call your mom?" This is
Right there on the curb.
Go and sit on the curb, all right?
Right there.
You're good. You can stand. You can sit. It's up to you. I get it.
Hello? Yes. You don't have to come. I don't know.
What is it? Huron Street?
Huron
The
Street?
Kroger at Huron Street, 94.
12 on Huron Street, 94.
What do you mean? What's going on?
My dad got pulled over.
Oh my motherfucking God. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm coming from FC. Tell them I'm on my way.
Okay, just tell her everything's okay. He's all right. Okay. So just hurry, but don't hurry, okay? We don't want you to get into an accident. He's okay.
Where? Huron Street where?
Huron Street, 94. We're at the Kroger.
At the Kroger by
McDonald's.
There's a Powerhouse gym there, a Shell station. We're right behind the Shell station.
Okay, I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Okay, and your son's fine.
Okay.
Y'all good? You need a water or anything? You thirsty? Yeah. Gatorade? Hey, cassette, I'm gonna grab him a drink.
Okay.
You want a Gatorade or a water?
Gatorade.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Can you get it's a bag in the car and it's gray and
Yep.
it's my grandma's gift.
Okay, yeah, we'll make sure we get everything for you. They're gonna have to do some things with the car just because, you know, what happened. But yeah, we'll definitely make sure we get that for you. Don't worry about that.
Let me see what's going on. I mean, where y'all at?
I don't know.
Man, so where is your surroundings? Where are you at?
Next to Coney Island.
Where?
Where is it again?
It's Huron near Whitaker.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
Huron.
Don't start crying. Your mommy on the way?
Yeah. Okay.
I know I asked you, but you're okay. You don't need the paramedics to look at you at all. Didn't hit your head.
No.
Seatbelt was on, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. And like I said, sorry about that initial stuff. All right.
My dad wants to go over there.
You wanna go see your dad? Don't forget your Gatorade. Mom's on her way.
You guys all still on it now?
What's that?
You guys all still on it now?
I'm still on. I'm gonna be done in a second.
So what did they want to pull the father over for? That's that never got resolved so far in this video footage. Let me just take a look real quick and see what this says. Pittsville police officer. Okay, let me just switch over to this article real quick. Boom. It says, okay, Pittsville police officer pointed gun at 10-year-old. Federal lawsuit says so. It's a federal lawsuit, and this is the mother. Here are some photographs here. Okay, this was in 2021 when the case was filed, and I'm not sure where or when the initial incident happened, but let's read on. Washtenaw County, Missouri, Attorney Diane Webster Cox asked the following questions at a Tuesday protest in Pittsville Township. How could an unarmed boy necessitate a police officer handcuffing and pointing a gun at him? That's a good question. Webster Cox represents Markia Dixon, the mother of an 11-year-old black boy who experienced this interaction with a Pittsville Township police officer in April. Okay, that's interesting. That's 2 years ago right now, right? Okay. Police officer in April. Webster Cox filed a lawsuit on October 5th in the U.S. District Attorney's Court against the officer, requesting $400,000 for causing emotional injury to the boy. To draw attention to the lawsuit, Webster Cox Dixon and local black activists protest in front of the township's administration building, 6201 Michigan Avenue, West Michigan Avenue, on November 2nd. Webster Cox asked the blunt question on how this interaction could have occurred. Where was the threat? She asked Tuesday in front of a dozen protesters. There was no reason for a young man to be placed in handcuffs. The interaction occurred on April 16th when the boy's father drove him to Briarwood Mall, where there was an investigation into an unrelated shooting. And Arbor police told the father to leave the area, according to the federal lawsuit. The father drew police attention by driving the wrong way on a one-way street near the mall and exceeding 100 miles per hour on the freeway after leaving the area. The lawsuit states when police apprehended the father at the nearby shopping mall parking lot In Pittsville Township, officer allegedly pointed his gun at the boy and handcuffed him for a few minutes. The lawsuit states the father was not involved in a Briarwood Mall shooting, which was between two acquaintances inside one of the mall stores. The only item on the boy was his phone. The lawsuit states which was confiscated until it was returned to him so he could call his mother to pick him up at the scene. The officer attempted to comfort the boy by giving him a Gatorade, Dixon said, but that did not take away from the fear police caused him that may last his whole life. True indeed. You just changed my son's whole life. The boy's father drove him to Briarwood Mall, where there was an investigation into an unrelated shooting, and Ann Arbor police told the father to leave the area, according to the federal lawsuit. So they told him, leave the area. There's an investigation going on. The father drew the police attention by driving the wrong way on a one-way street near the mall and exceeding 100 miles per hour. But they told him to leave the area. 100 miles per hour. Okay. How do you measure that? How do you measure how fast somebody's driving? That sounds strange if you don't have something to test the speed of the car in real time. I mean, how could they say that? Sounds a little excessive, but yeah. In any case, just an everyday mix-up, y'all. I mean, that could happen to you. So, I mean, apparently, it could happen to anybody. But this is, I don't know. Can it happen to anybody? Can it? Or is this just some shit that shouldn't be happening at all? And it happens to a lot of people. But yeah, you damn Skippy, it was malicious, excessive force. They knew what they were doing. I mean, yeah, it seems to me like that would be easily, seen as, why are you handcuffing the boy? It's a traffic stop, but they pulled his gun. They had the gun on the boy. It's not even just the handcuffs. It's the gun. They had a gun pointed at this boy. Look, the guy has a gun.
Hands, put the phone down.
You see that? Look, the man had his weapon pulled.
Now, sit. Lay down.
He's directing him with a weapon. Yo, the police officer is directing the boy with his weapon in hand, pointing the weapon, where to sit. Yo, sorry, that's wild. You first got to take a look at what's going on before you even say, hey, there's danger going on here. I need to pull my weapon. That's the key element right there.
Get out.
He's not the only one that got his weapon drawn.
Hands, put the phone down.
Look, he got his weapon drawn. You see that? See, there's two of them. Now, let me see something here. Let me just make sure I don't get this wrong.
Hands, put the phone down now. Sit.
See, that's two weapons. See, and both dudes are pointing the weapon at him at the same damn time. Yo, this is crazy.
Lay down. Hands.
You see that? One weapon here, one weapon here.
Put the phone down.
And you can tell who they're pointing the weapon at because they're turning as the boy is moving.
Now. Sit.
You see? He's still pointing the weapon at the boy. What the fuck? And this dude too.
Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Put the phone down.
Look. He puts his weapon back in his holster. You see the guy? Look.
Down.
You see that? Watch this. This guy. It looks like.
Stand up, okay? Stand up. You're good. Stand up. I got you. Hey. You're good.
Oh, does he still have it out?
You're good. All right. Stand up. I got you.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the boy is obviously distressed. Yeah. That's another one for the records, for the record book. Now let's see here. Damn, innocent pregnant woman jailed and shackled in active. What the is this the same damn thing? Oh, this is a different camera angle.
I want you to go back to.
All right. I mean, there's an overwhelming list of videos. This was posted December 15th, 2021. That's 3 years ago, which is not long ago. I mean, check this out, people have been complaining about excessive force by the police for decades now in the US, if not decades more, right? Police officer arrested 2 innocent children at gunpoint. Now they're asking the Supreme Court to hold the officer accountable. The court said that the Fourth Amendment protection against unwarranted arrest is hazy. What? Shit, they better really unhaze that one up really fast. A court said the Fourth Amendment protection against unwarranted arrest is hazy. Folks, we are in trouble if that is how a court finds that. Now, with the IJ's help, a family is asking the U.S. Supreme Court to clear the haze and rein in policies ability to arrest someone for no reason. Absolutely right. All right, let's play it.
Your house. Are you serious? They're 12 and 14 years old. And I'm looking for 2 kids about this age right now. 14 years old. And I'm looking for 2 kids. I want you to go back to your house. Are you serious? They're 12 and 14 years old. And I'm looking for 2 kids about this age right now. So get back to your house.
My name is Keith Neely, and I'm an attorney with the Institute for Justice. And today, we're here in Springdale, Arkansas, to meet with Cassie and her 2 sons, Hayden and Weston, to discuss a scary encounter that they had with police in January 2018. When Cassie's
Arkansas, that's Bill Clinton country.
family was finishing up their dinner at her parents', her sons, 12 and 14-year-old Weston and Hayden, decided to walk home. While that was going on, Springdale police were trying to find 2 men, one taller than the other. Officer Lamont Marzolf was put on lookout and had stopped his vehicle on a residential street near where Cassie's family live. So what the police officer knows at this point is that he's looking for 2 males, one taller than the other, who are running from police. And here come Hayden and Weston. True, one is taller than the other, but they're not running, they're walking, and they're boys. And that's where the night takes a horrible turn.
Hey, what are you guys doing? Hey, stop, turn away from me.
Okay, Cassie, we're back where everything happened that night. Can you walk us through how things looked from your perspective when you came onto the scene?
Yes, I was walking out of my front door. I saw the police lights and I knew that he was probably going to stop and ask some questions. So I just started walking straight over here. I started approaching the police officer and yelling behind. They were my boys.
Hey, step back. Get back.
The police officer pulled a taser on me then and told me that he was serious to get back. And I asked him where he wanted me to go. And he told me to leave, to go home.
And how did that feel, having the police officer completely ignore you, threaten you with a taser, and then tell you to leave your children behind?
Very intense moment as a parent, and just not being able to do anything and not understand what is happening.
That's 10-4. Get on the ground. Put your hands out. Hands out.
All right, Hayden and Weston, this is the spot where it happened. You were walking home that night and police officers stopped you. Tell me a little bit what was going through your mind. What was happening then?
He had us turn around with our hands in the air and had us get on the ground on our stomachs, and then he came and checked us and cuffed us.
Your hands behind your back.
Whenever I had my hands cuffed, I kind of got a little bit panicked. I started freaking out.
You was y'all in the car, jumped out, run from the police? What y'all doing down here?
Hayden and Weston were apprehended using what's known as a Terry stop, otherwise called a stop and frisk. It's a procedure that the Supreme Court first authorized in the 1960s, and today it's used thousands of times around the country every day.
A case of mistaken identity gone horribly wrong.
Turn around! With your hands!
They had guns pointing at my son.
He was handcuffed for at least 4 minutes and was never told why.
Put your hands up!
4 children, 2 of them in handcuffs, being detained by police.
I was still in shock when I was in handcuffs.
I'm here at the Institute for Justice's headquarters here in Arlington, Virginia, to talk to Robert McNamara, attorney on this case, to explain more.
So the Supreme Court has said that the police can stop suspicious individuals and demand that they explain themselves and even frisk them in what's known as a Terry stop, which is supposed to be minimally intrusive. But in reality, a Terry stop is not just a stop and frisk. It has turned into a stop, assault, handcuff, point a gun at, all in the name of this minimally intrusive investigation. And that's just worlds beyond anything the Supreme Court has ever signed off on.
I'm telling you, this is all. That's 12 and 14 years old.
When it was over, the officer returns to his car.
Now you got to ask yourself, is this what your rights are about in a Western nation, in a NATO nation? How often is this the norm for NATO citizens? NATO citizens, might fight wars for NATO, but there seems to be a difference in policy in terms of human rights and civil rights, how it's executed from one nation to another. Now, you already know that many NATO nations actually just pay people to go to school. You know that many of them have housing guarantees and benefits, depending on your economy, how it might fluctuate. And there's other aspects to this. But when it comes to this kind of thing being stopped by the police, just for nothing, pretty much, I just want to make sure you're not one of the people we're looking for. Do you think that's a norm in NATO nations, or do you think human rights are translated into civil rights that totally change the outcome? Like less contact with police based on just assumptions out of thin air. How much rights do the police have to intrude on your day to day when you haven't done anything, right? Just for walking down the street and coming in contact with the police, should they have the right to, all of a sudden, let me frisk you. Let me see maybe you're the person involved in this crime. I mean, how much time should they have? How much of your time should they take figuring out who you are and who you're not? And if you're a danger and if you're not, if you were involved in something and if you were not. And do these policies, the ones that are in effect right now, for example, what this police officer is doing right now, how did this help the investigation? How did this solve a crime? Is it a waste of taxpayer dollars? Does it benefit the society, these kind of stops, or is it harming the society?
Closes his door and says to himself, that sigh is the sound of a police officer to her when she obviously posed no threat.
The Eighth Circuit held that that holding the innocent boys at gunpoint and in handcuffs was perfectly lawful. It's called a Terry stop. The case could now be taken up by the U.S. Supreme Court, because of the local court's findings.
This case is about whether government officials can be held accountable for actions that any reasonable person would tell you were wrong. I defy anyone to watch this video and tell me that's good policing. That's how this interaction should have gone. But the federal courts have said it's just not their business to say that this bad behavior violates the Constitution. But if anything violates the Constitution, pointing a gun at 2 children because you're looking for 2 adults has to be it.
I want the Supreme Court to take my case because I want police officers to be held accountable for the communities they serve.
To me, it seems like this like American children are not children. Um, that's what it says to me. You know, they're not expected to be children. You know, and that means what do children do? I mean, children can do things like we saw one kid get shot because he was firing a BB gun on a private property, on an abandoned property. Police officer approaches, looks through the fence. We don't see anything. I don't see the child pointing the gun at the officer. There was no statement made that, oh, the child turned and pointed the gun at me and then I shot. No, but the kid got shot, you know? Um, it's like, aren't these like encounters that a reasonable person would be able to navigate better? Even if you're not a cop, you would be concerned about somebody with a gun. But can a reasonable person tell the difference between a teenager with a BB gun when they're firing it and an actual weapon, a real weapon? Um, yeah, I don't know, but it seems like, yeah, here we go. An off-duty cop pulled a gun on a teen waiting for a bus. Let's just say again, we're talking about weapons here, guns. Guns hurt people, even on accident, it could misfire, you know.
This is Taya Graham reporting for the Real News Network in Baltimore City, Maryland. Is American policing resistant to reform? The Real News investigated a recent case to try to find some answers. The terrifying encounter with an off-duty Baltimore police officer was captured on video. A cop who pulled a gun on a city teen without identifying himself.
I thought I was going to die because I didn't know who he was. To me, he was a regular dude up the street. I mean, he was dressed like me.
An incident that still haunts the intended target, Juwan Nicholson.
He pulled the gun and me and my homeboy put our hands up like this and started walking away. He followed us.
And his mother, Erica Hamlet.
He can be doing everything right. Everything right. And that man had every opportunity to kill my son. And from the lies that he's told since the incident, he would have had no reason not to tell a lie to make it seem like my son provoked him to do what he did to him. Dead men don't tell tales.
But also has become a symbol of the city's apparent inability to reform police.
I mean, what's crazy is kids, you know, they have to navigate not only real criminal elements in society, but they have to navigate the damn police. Yo, this is really out there. I mean, that's got to be very difficult for a teenager to deal with day to day, you know, and do the things that you're supposed to do, focus on the things that you're supposed to do, when the reality is that you might have to focus on another criminal or a damn police officer taking your life.
In a department under federal consent decree, and raises questions on how to fix it.
So I'm glad that my son made it out alive, and people keep saying, well, he living, what you mad for? Because of what he did.
The near deadly series of events started last year when Juwan was waiting at a bus stop after school. A stranger who did not identify himself started to question him.
But he came up and he never identified himself as an officer. He asked us why we was over there, asked us a few questions, and then he pulled his gun.
Juwan called county police, who disarmed the cop, but the family was stunned when they learned the potential assailant was a city cop.
I'm looking at him like maybe he's a kid and he was trying to rob him. That was my thought, like somebody's trying to rob my son when I was running to him. And when we approached and he was still coming towards them, my son's like, "Mom, don't say nothing to him." And I'm like, "No, what's going on? Who are you?"
Hamlet filed a peace order against the officer, which a judge approved. During the hearing, the officer said he felt threatened by the teen who he thought looked suspicious. We contacted his lawyer, who did not respond. But since then, Hamlet says efforts to hold the officer accountable have revealed a system that is hostile to civilians.
His lawyer brought up stacks of our Facebook posts because he couldn't find any criminal record on us because I don't have a criminal record. My son doesn't have a criminal record. So he went to Facebook and pulled up all the posts, all my Facebook posts, and said my son was big and he was aggressive. If he was so big and aggressive, then why would you even approach him in the first place?
And a department she believes where her concerns seem to fall on deaf ears.
They treated us like we were criminals. And I was like, I'm not doing that. We're not criminals. We're here to give a statement because we filed a complaint. And then they asked me to refrain from social media, don't do any interviews. And then
with the media?
Mm-hmm.
They told you that?
Mm-hmm.
What did they say?
He said, can you refrain from speaking to the media? We know you've spoken to the media because I'd already done an interview with Jane Miller by then.
Which is why she is even more troubled by the current conflict surrounding the agency of last resort for her, the Civilian Review Board. The civilian body is supposed to offer residents an alternative opinion to internal police investigations. The board has little power and cannot mete out punishment. But that truism has not kept city officials from attacking the board's independence. Recently, the city's top lawyer asked members to sign a second non-disclosure form.
The statute desperately needs to be revised. And that is the source of the conflict between the city law department and the existing Civilian Review Board.
A move that board member George Bunton says was not only redundant, but filled with vague language.
The new one that was presented to us by the city solicitor had a lot of language that was very vague, seemed very open to interpretation later.
Since the board refused to sign it, the police department stopped turning over complaints as required by law, a move Davis justified during a recent hearing in Annapolis.
The Civilian Review Board right now is very frustrated.
So the police essentially are not in a position to cooperate with the civilian board, which is very, very odd. Because the police work for the civilians, it's strange. I don't know how many of you live in a county or in a state where this kind of stuff goes on, where the civilian board is looked upon by the police as the problem in terms of sharing information.
Frustrated because they want to be able to engage with the public and share more with the public about what they are doing and the outcome of their cases. But here it is. The procedures established under this subheading, this is the Civilian Review Board, may not be construed to affect or change the methods and procedures for suspension or dismissal of police officers.
But David Roca, legal director of the Maryland ACLU, an organization that has a non-voting position on the board, says the action is illegal.
What the city solicitor is not free to do is attempt to hold them hostage by preventing them from doing their job until they sign this ridiculous confidentiality agreement that misstates the actual confidentiality obligation.
And recently, Davis released this letter, which states the city will begin turning over complaints. The city's uneven experiment with civilian...
This is Baltimore. This is Baltimore, Maryland. Look at this, Baltimore, Maryland police. That's crazy, to think that this is the state of what's going on in Baltimore 5 years ago. Not that Baltimore's got a good reputation with police. They don't. They have a bad reputation with some police brutality, regarding police brutality. But when you see people in writing try to obstruct the law in writing, that is a very, very bad sign right there, because this is like at the highest levels, basically, trying to supersede civilian rights,
Oversight began in 1999 after a state senator was illegally detained by police.
State Senator Joan Carter Conway used to have a business on Monument Street. She was doing accounting, and there was a young child that was hit by a vehicle not far from her office. So she walked out of her office to check on this child, see what was going on. The ambulance already arrived, and other folks were there. So the ambulance driver is telling her, "Back up, ma'am, stay out of it." She said, "Well, I just want to see how the child is doing." Police show up and they see her interacting with this emergency person vehicle. Police didn't ask any questions. Get out of the way, lady. Wait a minute. Who you think you're talking to? Because Joan, Joan Conway, she's not going to take that. Next thing you know, the cop is putting handcuffs on her, sitting her on the curb. This is a sitting state senator. So as a result of that arrest, her attorney at the time, Baltimore City Councilman Martin O'Malley, was her attorney. Got her out of jail. She actually had to get out of being booked. And at that point, that's when we initiated the discussion of a civilian review board with teeth.
One of its architects, former state senator Clarence Mitchell IV, says it was supposed to be a starting point for civilian oversight, not a long-term solution.
There were incidences that were driving the need for civilian oversight because the internal affairs and the state's attorney, and this is an African-American state's attorney, Pat Jessamine, refused to bring a case against Officer Smoot, even though you had videotape.
He thinks more civilian control is the best long-term answer, but needs to be strengthened. It's an idea
because the internal affairs and the state's attorney, and this is an African-American state's attorney, Pat Jessamine, refused to bring a case against Officer Smoot, even though you had videotape or civilian oversight, because the internal affairs and the state's attorney, and this is an African-American state's attorney, Pat Jessamine, refused to bring a case against Officer Smoot, even though you had videotape.
He thinks more civilian control is the best long-term answer, but needs to be strengthened. It's an idea that has support in Baltimore, where the police department is under consent decree with the Department of Justice, including Councilman Brandon Scott.
Going to a structure that has a board of police commissioners, of which the chair of that board will be a citywide elected compensated official that the citizens are directly can hold them accountable, in addition to some appointees who will oversee that person who's the law enforcement. This is a process that's done in Los Angeles, it's done in Kansas City, in St. Louis, in Detroit, where they elect the majority of their board.
But the current debate does little to help Erica Hamlet and her son, Juwan Nicholson.
I apologize to him often because I have to tell him that I'm fearful. It's not something, sometimes it's so bad that I can't even control it.
Her son still has trouble coping with the aftermath of his encounter.
I just look at it like, I'm glad I didn't blank out and charge at him. I just threw my hands up. You got that.
And with nowhere to turn, the tight-knit family can only wait and hope that a system that seems intent on protecting police will someday answer to the people.
Whenever I've called Baltimore City Police, I've never had a good encounter with them. Never. And with us being the victim.
Damn. I mean, never means never. You know, that is, that's a bad state for Baltimore. But I can't say I'm surprised. Not surprised at all, but yeah. It's something I believe people need to take focus on, because it's one thing, not that adult lives don't matter, but I think it just underlines the severity of it when you can prove that no, children's lives don't matter. That's the scariest point you could be at. You know, that is the scariest point, when children's lives don't matter. Yo, they go hand in hand with adults, but when you can't recognize that you're dealing with a child and that you need to proceed with caution, particularly not just caution, but proceed by the book, proceed in good, in good practice of the law, because you can't be a cop and be out here on the street not recognizing a threat from a non-threat. That's just ridiculous. And children often, as you can see, are no real threat. They're not lethal threats. Then you could even see a case where we saw the children were actually shooting at the police. They had a standoff with the police, and the police ain't even killed them. The police barely even shot their ass. It's like, and they're white children. I mean, and you hear the police as an organization saying, these are children. Let's wait them out. I'm paraphrasing. Let's wait till they get calm. They made all types of exception in that tape. So, yeah. Anyway, let me drop one more here. It's not actually a good look. It's pretty sad to see these cases But apparently it's happening all the time. Yeah. And,
I want you to go back to your house.
I saw that one. Sorry about that. Let me go back.
Get out the fucking car right now.
Let me see here. Let's see here. Right. This is the one in the home. These the ones the police refused to shoot. These little 12-year-old. But again, it's a very telling story because it's the opposite of what you find in other states. Look, this is in Florida, I believe, right? 14-year-old, right? The police didn't want to shoot them, and they was firing off on the police. Hence, the one we just saw in Baltimore, where there's a young boy, and the police just come up to him, harassing him out of nowhere. He doesn't have a weapon. I mean, yeah, this is San Antonio. Here we go.
Forretningen, som den ser ud nu, kunne rigtig.
I don't know. It doesn't seem to be like any real understanding of why this stuff is happening or any real
horrific
defense.
scene in San Antonio. In the meantime, we move on to the other news this Monday night into a horrific scene in San Antonio. Tonight, a rookie police officer has been fired after opening fire on an unarmed teenager who was eating a burger in his car at a McDonald's. That teen is now fighting for his life after being shot multiple times. The police body cam video showing the officer approaching the car, opening the door, and then opening fire on the teen as that teenager moved backwards a little. Tonight, the officer off the force and the police union says it will not defend him. Here's ABC's John Quinones now.
Our first look at the body camera video of the night an officer shot an 11-year-old boy in his own home. It was released after various Freedom of Information Act requests, including one from ABC News. The officer has been cleared of criminal wrongdoing, and the boy survived, but the family is now seeking justice through a civil suit. Ike Ajachi joins us now with details. Ike, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. This body camera video, which some people may find disturbing, shows the moment the officer involved pulled the trigger on 11-year-old Adarian Murray, shooting him in the chest.
Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands.
This morning, shocking new body camera footage showing 11-year-old Adarian Murray shot in the chest by a Mississippi police officer.
Where is he at? I'm trying to tell us he's over the fool. Police.
The shooting taking place last May. The unarmed 11-year-old telling ABC News an argument between his mother and her ex-boyfriend woke him. Then he dialed 911 after his mom told him to do so. What he told us next can be seen on the body camera footage. Take a look. You can see the officer approach the house before knocking on the door several times. Adarian's mom coming out first with her hands up.
Where's he at?
Then the crucial moment, the officer stepping into the house, Adarian coming around the corner with his hands in the air. That's when the officer is seen pulling the trigger. Adarian was rushed to the hospital where doctors discovered the bullet collapsed his lung and lacerated his liver. ABC News speaking exclusively to Adarian after the incident, who described the moment he was shot.
I came out doing this. When Greg shot me, I did this to my chest. It felt like a big punch to the chest.
Sergeant Greg Capers, the officer involved, was suspended without pay. He told ABC's DeMarco Morgan that the shooting wasn't intentional.
I hate that it happened because even I love kids. I've shed many tears, done everything I can to get this situation off of me.
His attorney telling ABC News it's a complete surprise that the body camera was released, but some still raising questions about the policing tactics in this case.
What this is really about is police training and a desire for citizens to want law enforcement to move away from a shoot first, ask questions later.
Now, an attorney for Darian's mom said they welcome the body camera footage being released. She's filing a $5 million federal lawsuit against Capers in the city of Indianola, Mississippi, for her son's injuries and for excessive force. Now, a Mississippi grand jury has determined Sergeant Capers won't face any criminal charges. He's already been reinstated to the police department and says he's ready to get back to work. Gio?
Yo, how does that make any sense? How does that make any sense? That makes zero sense. One young man, he's not that young, but he's still a teenager. He's still a minor in a car, eating a hamburger, gets shot by the police, right? That one gets fired. He's fired, period. The police union says we will not defend him. But then in this case, it's an 11-year-old boy in his own damn house with his hands up. The police officer shoots him. He's back on duty. No grand jury would charge him. Why? What's up with that? Like, how's that possible? That's wrong. It doesn't matter why. You just proved you can't get it right, bro. Like, you just proved you have a tendency to shoot the wrong people. You have a tendency to shoot the little person with their hands up. That's what was proven there. I mean, and the police department, what is their view of it? I mean, it does. Penalties don't have to be personal. You just break. If you blow up your, excuse me, it's just an example, but let's say you do something wrong at work. The building gets destroyed. Everyone has to leave. It was done on accident. You still did it. Did you follow procedure? In that following procedure, did you endanger people's lives? Yeah. There's protocols everywhere. But for some reason, it seems to be like a different practice of law going on. I don't get it myself. In my view, it's on it being your intention is definitely a good thing to know, but what happens is even better to know. Your intent is very difficult to prove, but what difference does it matter when you get it wrong? What's the penalty? What stops you from getting it wrong? What's going to stop the next guy from going into a house and shooting the 11-year-old boy who's unarmed with his hands up? What stops them? What's going to happen now? What are the police supposed to do? I mean, you didn't hear nothing about none of that. Nothing. The police just said, hey, he's going to be back on duty.
An attorney for Darian's mom said questions about the policing tactics in this case.
What this is really about is police training and a desire for citizens to want law enforcement to move away from a shoot first, ask questions later.
Now, an attorney for Darian's mom said they welcome the body camera footage being released. She's filing a $5 million federal lawsuit against Capers in the city of Indianola, Mississippi, for her son's injuries and for excessive force. Now, a Mississippi grand jury has determined Sergeant Capers won't face any criminal charges. He's already been reinstated to the police department and says he's ready to get back to work.
That makes no sense. That means you are free to do the same thing, period. That's what it is. Just say what that officer said and you'll be cool. You'll be good, y'all.
Gio?
All right. I thank you so much for your reporting there.
I don't understand that damn reporting at all. I mean, I understand the reporting, but that is that's just bizarre outcome of a case. Let me see here. Is there one more we can find here about the children? So, sorry. Okay. Well, what? This happened in DC 6 days ago? Damn. Teen killed a
Vi har brug for chauffører i Vikingbus.
Teen killed at DC Metro Station. 2 women murdered in Manassas, Maryland. Man charged in mom's death.
It's now time for crime in the DMV.
These are unrelated cases.
This is where we bring you the biggest stories of the week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Sierra Fox. We start in D.C., where police are searching for the young man suspected of shooting and killing a 14-year-old boy at the Brooklyn Catholic University metro station. Fox 5's Bob Barnard is there with the latest details.
The young man who was shot and killed right here yesterday afternoon was indeed a 14-year-old boy whose older brother was murdered at a D.C. metro station 8 years ago. This was the 14-year-old boy shot and killed Thursday, Avian Evans of Northeast D.C., his home just a mile from the metro station where he was murdered around 4 in the afternoon.
That's so sad. This sounds almost like it's school related or bully related, coming home from school or something. I don't know.
Police telling us young people on the station platform were fighting. Somebody pulled a gun and started shooting.
It was terrible, so terrible. I feel so sorry for the family.
Avian Evans was pronounced dead here at the metro station. Police releasing new photos of the suspect, who was apparently not in.
Now, obviously this is a situation where, these are minors. So the legality or illegality of the weapons don't really play a role because none of them would have the right to have a weapon anyway, according to the law right now. Or the standard even in DC. So this kind of shows you how it would be curious to figure out how the child got the weapon. But in any case, because of weapons being distributed in other states, because you can't buy weapons in DC, even if you can have a license to own one, you can't buy one. There's no gun stores in DC. You have to literally buy them from Virginia or Maryland or other places. But the question here is, how effective are gun laws in stopping criminals or crime from happening? Is it enabling crime or is it disabling crime? The distribution of weapons. Where do criminals get their weapons from? Even if it's a conspiracy type organization going on, or if it's an individual
involved in the fight, his face clearly shown in the photos. Metro riders here once again shaking their heads.
It's real sad, very sad. And I'm hurting, as we speak, because, I have a son, and I look at all kids as my sons, and I hope it stops. It needs to stop.
At the ribbon cutting for the new D.C. Health Department headquarters building in Anacostia today, we asked Mayor Muriel Bowser about the murder of Avian Evans.
I can't speak to the specifics of that incident today, but whatever they are, I know it wasn't about anything or worth it.
Witnesses to this shooting caught on camera Wednesday night on Capitol Hill say the young people running from that lone gunman also fired shots during the confrontation. 2 of those bullets striking a parked car with a woman inside.
Yo, this is from the part of town I'm from, Capitol Hill. I'm from Capitol Hill and Capitol Hill East and Anacostia, which is east of the river. But most of my teenage years is on the Hill, all of it, in fact, and everything after. So this is crazy that the Hill, even in an epidemic, drug, cocaine epidemic in the 90s, was wild. But damn, it's like to see this go on right here, it almost seems like it's not even about drug distribution. It just seemed like it's about kid stuff. Let me see.
I know it wasn't about anything.
When I first saw this shooting, I didn't even know it was on the Hill. Like Capitol Hill, for those of y'all that don't know, it's the neighborhood that is adjacent to the Capitol, headed east from the center of the city east, right? So the first neighborhoods that you come across are on northeast and southeast side are both Capitol Hill. So yeah, there you go. Let me see what's
thing or worth it.
Witnesses to this shooting caught on camera Wednesday night on Capitol Hill say the young people running from that lone gunman also fired shots during the confrontation. 2 of those bullets striking a parked car with a woman inside. Mayor Bowser telling us new legislation she's proposed this week would prevent the placement of some young violent offenders into diversion programs, before their cases ever go to court.
We don't think it's appropriate, and more than we, being me and our team, we don't think the public thinks it's appropriate. They want to know that if there's a crime using a gun committed, that there's going to be accountability. So that's what the bill would do.
And we've learned from the Evans family, who lost 14-year-old Avian to gun violence here at the Brookland Metro Thursday afternoon, that they buried his older brother, John, after the 15-year-old was stabbed to death at the Deanwood Metro Station, also in Northeast D.C.
I mean, that's crazy, because his older brother wasn't even shot. He was stabbed. So, you know, I think this leads into the overall situation of children, like, you know, how kids feel, how safe kids feel. Why do kids feel like they got to carry weapons, knives, and things like that just to interact at school, to go to school, go home from school? I think it's actually bad. You know, this is a step worse. When I was growing up, we didn't have this. We had gang violence related to drugs, if you could call it gangs, you know, because in DC we don't have like gangs like that, but violence related to drug dealing specifically. This kind of back and forth interaction with the youth, usually it's ending with fights, people getting jumped, maybe somebody getting stabbed here and there, but rarely getting shot. Yeah, you know, but it seems like it's a different time, you know, now.
8 years ago this month.
Instagram takes up too much time. What I'm about to share with you is how.
And I spoke to the family off camera, both the mom and dad, and they say the middle son died in a violent way here in D.C. about a year ago. They didn't explain exactly how that happened, but he was killed. So 3 brothers in this city killed within the last 8 years, 2 of them guys at metro stations.
Now to a Fox 5 exclusive out of Northern Virginia. The mother of a woman murdered in a Manassas apartment is speaking out for the first time. Police arrested the suspected killer who was trying to get away in a stolen car. Fox 5 Shamari Stone has this report.
Your heart really goes out to this mother. Angela Payne is devastated. She lost her only daughter, 22-year-old Asia Payne. After finding out that her daughter was murdered inside of this unit, she broke down in tears. We're here in the Westgate apartment and townhome community on Porter Ridge Lane in Manassas, Virginia. Tonight, she's sharing her story, she says, to honor her daughter. She says Asia was a kind woman who loved animals, dancing, singing, and grew up in Manassas, Virginia. Prince William County Police tell me 36-year-old Edward James Jackson Bland shot and killed Asia and Leanne Renee Harris around 1 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. Police got Bland after they say he carjacked someone with a gun and then broke down in the stolen car hours later in Shenandoah County. After the arrest, police checked the apartment and that's where they found Asia and Harris. Detectives believe the 2 women and the suspect knew each other. How? Well, that's under investigation. You're now going to hear exclusively from Asia Payne's mother.
What are you going to miss most about your daughter?
Yep.
Us hanging out and just having fun and singing and dancing and the phone calls at night. I don't get any more phone calls. I don't get any more of those midnight phone calls. Mom, I love you.
What do you say to the suspect in this case, Edward James Jackson Bland? If he was standing right here, what do you say to him?
How did you feel the morning that you woke up, that next day that you murdered my baby girl? You murdered my baby girl. You took her life with did you have any remorse at all about what you did?
Back out here in the building, Angela Payne tells me she does not know how her daughter knew Harris and the suspect. That's still under investigation. Detectives are trying to figure out what led up to the shooting. If you have any information, give them a call. As for the suspect, well, he's facing several charges, including 2 counts of murder and 1 count of carjacking. Tonight, he's in jail. In Manassas, I'm Shamari Stone. Back to you.
Back to the district now, where 3 teen suspects will remain in youth detention for the murder of a 64-year-old man. Fox 5's Lily Zhang explains.
The judge did order a number of tests for these suspects. They include a psych evaluation.
Damn, 64-year-old man murdered by some teenagers.
As well as psych education. Now, let's talk about the suspects in this case. They are girls ranging between 12 and 13 years old. They are accused of beating.
These are girls.
64-year-old Reggie Brown to death. That was back in October. Today, one of the suspect's attorneys argued that she should be released, citing her age and arguing that educational needs are not being met. The suspects are being charged with second-degree murder as juveniles. The victim's family has told us that they believe he was targeted at random, adding that the girls should be charged as adults. But it is important to note, however, that under D.C. law, juvenile suspects under the age of 15 cannot be charged as adults. Prosecutors today argue that these cases should be joined. We're told that they will be back in court on May 8th.
Damn, that is sad. What do y'all think is going on with these kids, man?
Now to Prince George.
This is that is a heinous crime, and they say these are young people. Under what age did they say? One of them was 12 years old. Let me hear this back. Sorry.
Are not being met. The suspects are October. Today, one of the suspects' attorneys argued that of tests for these suspects, they include a psych evaluation as well as psych education. Now, let's talk about the suspects in this case. They are girls ranging between 12 and 13 years old. They are accused of beating 64-year-old Reggie Brown.
Girls ranging between 12 and 13
to death. That was back in October. Today, they are girls ranging between 12 and 13 years old. They are accused of beating
Damn, this is Uptown on George Avenue. What block was that? Let me see that again.
As well as psych education. Now, let's talk about the suspects in this case. They are girls ranging
6200 block up. Okay, that's a little ways uptown.
Between 12 and 13 years old. They are accused of beating 64-year-old Reggie Brown to death. That was back in October. Today, one of the suspect's attorneys argued that she should be released, citing her age and arguing that educational needs are not being met. The suspects are being charged with second-degree murder as juveniles. The victim's family has told us that they believe he was targeted at random, adding that the girls should be charged as adults. But it is important to note, however, that under D.C. law, juvenile suspects under the age of 15.
Yo, you can't try a 12 and 13-year-old as adults. Are you out of your mind? Where are you going to send them to? You're going to send them to prison with adults, with real adults. That makes no sense. I mean, as heinous as the crime is, how do you charge a 12 and 13-year-old as an adult? Their mind is not fully developed. Obviously, their body isn't either, but that I don't understand the need to do that. I mean, there's obviously a crime has been committed that's heinous, but the necessity in trying them as adults at 12 and 13 years old, yo, that seems to be a little misguided.
Cannot be targeted at random as educational needs are not being met. The suspects are being charged with second-degree murder as juveniles. The victim's family has told us that they believe he was targeted at random, adding that the girls should be charged as adults. But it is important to note, however, that under D.C. law, juvenile suspects under the age of 15 cannot be charged as adults.
Keep the law the same. Don't mess it up. Don't make things even worse, you know. Yeah.
Prosecutors today argue that these cases should be joined. We're told that they will be back in court on May 8th.
Now to Prince George's County, Maryland, a man is accused of killing his own mother. Fox 5's Selma Bash has more on this disturbing case.
It is a quiet neighborhood, and people here tell me they're shocked and saddened to hear what happened. A man charged with killing his own mother in a very disturbing case.
It's a quiet neighborhood. Kids, people go to work, you know. Never no problem. That's the tragic thing I've ever heard since I've been here.
Police say on Wednesday, 72-year-old Lorena Royster was found stabbed in the neck by officers doing a welfare check. According to investigators, Royster was wearing a handcuff on her wrist. They also found a pocket knife.
Yo, this damn Ralph, where you at, man? They using your last name, boy. Yo, what's up with this? You know something about this?
Box cutter and screwdriver in the bedroom where she was discovered. This is all in the 4100 block of East 53rd Place in Bladensburg. Royster was discovered around 11 p.m. 12 hours earlier, about 40 miles east of here in Stevensville, Maryland, and Cox Creek. An officer saw him, convinced him to swim to shore, and took him to the hospital for treatment. He told police he was preying on the dock and gave them a fake name. On Thursday, Prince George's County detectives arrested English for his mother's murder.
Well, people are just, I don't know what to say about people today. When I came up, people respected, especially your mother. How do you do that to your mother? So I can't, I can't put it into words. But it's real sad, I'll tell you that.
Mental
English
illness.
lived at the home with his mother. He is facing
Mental illness sounds like.
charges of first and second degree murder in this case. We pulled his records and found he was charged with murder, kidnapping, and a slew of other charges in D.C. for a killing last January. He was indicted in federal court in March, but in October 2023, the case was dismissed. According to court documents, that was because the surviving victim and witness in the case died. Earlier in the day, family and friends came to the home, understandably very upset and emotional, and they did not want to see a slew of other charges in D.C. We pulled his records and found he was charged with murder, kidnapping, and a slew of other charges in D.C.
Okay, so homeboy lives in VA outside of DC, but yeah.
For a killing last January. He was indicted in federal court in March, but in October 2023, the case was dismissed. According to court documents, that was because the surviving victim and witness in the case died. Earlier in the day, family and friends came to the home, understandably very upset and emotional, and they did not want to speak.
And our last story takes us to the nation's capital. A Subway restaurant employee was inside during a robbery in Southeast. The scary moments all caught on camera. Fox 5 Shamari Stone shows us.
Tonight, that Subway restaurant employee says that he was very scared when the suspect walked into the restaurant here on the 2800 block of Alabama Avenue Southeast. And
damn, they got a Subway sandwich restaurant over there on Alabama Avenue. Your life is at risk.
Demanded money, allegedly saying, "Give me the money." And the employee didn't put up a fight. He said, "Here, take the tip jar." And the suspect wanted more than that, police say. That is when you're going to see what happens next. Take a look at this surveillance video from March 15th, around 6:15 in the morning. The suspect is wearing a mask, ripped jeans, and a distinctive hooded sweatshirt that has orange, pink, and black stripes on the arms, along with a large pink X on the back. After
who robs places with this kind of clothing on? But these are I'm suspecting these are young people, to be honest with you. But let's see.
The Subway employee gives him the tip jar and runs out of the restaurant. The suspect leaps over the glass, looks behind the counter, grabs the cash register, and then climbs back over the wall. But take a look. This time, he gets tangled on some wires and hits the wall. He frees himself, leaving with an undisclosed amount of cash in the register. You're now going to hear exclusively from the Subway employee.
This is scary for us. We feel unsafe at work. He could have had a weapon with him. We want justice because
this is, I'm sorry to say this, but for this man in this location, Alabama Avenue, working at a Subway sandwich shop, this is for anybody. This is a dangerous job. This is a dangerous job. You're close to the border of Maryland, number one. So fleeing the police, either way, from, people coming in from Maryland to rob a place and then fleeing, going back out to Maryland from DC or vice versa. This is a precarious situation to be in because, these are not necessarily the most affluential people in the city on Alabama Avenue. I mean, if you told me that when I was growing up, Alabama Avenue, I would be like, I ain't working on no goddamn, excuse me, Alabama Avenue? What, nighttime? Subway sandwich? No. Just because a regular robbery would be suspected of happening. Why not? Why wouldn't a sandwich shop get robbed? At gunpoint. All these other people walking around with weapons. I mean, for different types of crimes. I'm sorry, but this one is a no-brainer here. But they should have insurance for companies like that. When you have employees that have to work in areas, work in any industry where the possibility of an armed robbery happening in any vicinity, they should have some extra insurance on the employees, because what if you lose your life? Is it worth it for minimum wage salary? I mean,
Why
what
should
about
this be happening? This is
what about your family? Is it worth their life? You working in that? It's
unfair. In this nice country, this should not be happening. We are working here. We are employed.
This guy doesn't come from the United States of America. I can guarantee you that by his accent. But he said, in this lovely country, he's
had a weapon with him. We want justice, because why should this be happening? This is unfair. In this nice country, this should not be happening. We are working here. We are employees.
And right now we're in the subway, and you can see these guys are working, making sandwiches right now. They tell me all they want to do is to be able to come to work hard, put together 6 inches and 12 inches, serve pizzas. And so people can, they say, eat fresh. But they say that the crime in this area, they're absolutely tired of it, and they want to feel safe. Now,
yeah, and the crime has been a known element. I mean, yeah. You work in a shop like this, you're a target, man. I mean, that's just the reality of it.
Call police if you have any information about this robbery. There's a reward of up to $1,000 for information that leads to an arrest in this case. In Southeast, I'm Shamari Stone. Back to you.
Well, that does it for this week's Crime in the DMV. Make sure you tune in every week right here on Fox Local.
Damn, I might have to start following this one a little bit more. But yeah, I'm not surprised by that last outcome. By the last story. I just wanted to flip it up a little bit. I mean, to see what was going on in DC with the child slaying and everything. And again, let me close it out with this figure. There are some figures on child mortality in the US, and that deals with a lot of different aspects of life. But let me share that with y'all so you can get a look at it. And this is comparing the US to other nations now, right? And so it could vary. But let me see something. This is the USA. The child, you see? This is healthcare spending. Hold on, my fault. Let me see something. Let me make sure I get that right. This is healthcare spending, right? And let me go back to the child mortality one. 2 seconds. So you could see that this is far more expensive than other NATO nations. Far more. This is double. This is over double. Now, let me just go back here and just say child mortality by nation. Okay, I don't want the infant one because I got an idea of that, but let's see here. Let's say Europe, for example. Okay, it says here the U.S. has a higher infant mortality rate than peer countries. In this paper, we combine micro data from the U.S. with similar data from European countries to investigate this U.S. infant mortality rate. Okay, that's infant. Now, but again, you're already seeing that the U.S. has a higher infant mortality rate just right off of the bat in the report. Now, let me go backwards. I'm going to put this report in here. 2 seconds. Let me see if we can find one where it's just dealing with child deaths that are not infants, but at at a certain age already. Child mortality, teenagers. Let me type that in and see if that has anything to do with it. Child mortality levels and trends in child mortality. Okay, let's see here. But this is the globe, and I don't necessarily want the globe, but what nation is this? Okay, right. Okay, so if we choose the US, it says United States of America 3.2. Okay, 3.2. That's this. Okay, damn, it's lesser in Russia. That is crazy, man. Okay, 3.1 Canada. No, 3.3 Canada, 3.2 Russia, 1.8. I have a strange suspicion. China, lesser. Okay, that's interesting. I don't trust those numbers though. I gotta tell you, this is about births though. So let's just get back out of that. I said teenagers. This is 2019. Among 20 wealthy nations, U.S. child mortality ranks worst. Study finds this is still in the infant age, though. Worst child mortality. %75 higher for infants and about 50% higher for children ages 1 to 19. You see that? 50% higher from children from 1 to 19, and then infants 75% higher. That's wealthy nations compared to the US. That's something to look at when you're dealing with quality of life. Also, as an adult, even just the value of your child's life, the quality of your child's life. I mean, just think as a parent, what torment you would go through it if you lost a child, if your child wasn't healthy. Well, how does that affect the quality of your life? I would say it probably would do that tremendously. You know, you know, having children is like it's the one thing you can't really escape because it is your responsibility to take care of your children or try your very best, and that's just built into being a parent. And when you see your child go through problems or issues, regardless of what they are, that affects your life. Researchers analyzed data on mortality rates for children up to the age of 19 in the US, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Canada, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Iceland, Ireland, Italy, Japan, and the Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. Yeah, these are the wealthiest nations here. You could say the data, which dated from 1961 to 2010, came from the Human Mortality Database and the World Health Organization Mortality Database. The researchers found that childhood mortality rates declined gradually from 1961 to 2010, and for the U.S. and the 19 other nations, which was a big success for public health. Yet the U.S. rate fell at a lower, slower pace than other nations over those 50 years. Specifically, during the decade of 2001 to 2010, the researchers found that the mortality rate in the United States was about 75% higher for infants and about 50% higher for children ages 1 to 19 than the average rate calculated for all the countries in the study. During that decade, the other countries with infant mortality rates also above the overall average included Switzerland, New Zealand, and the Netherlands, Ireland, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. Those with which mortality rates above the overall average were Ireland, Austria, and Canada. New Zealand's child mortality rate was also significantly higher than average, similar to the US. Thakrar said the difference in the two nation rates was not statistically meaningful. Countries with infant mortality rates below the overall average included Sweden, Spain, Norway, Japan, Iceland, and Finland. Okay, that's good. Those with child mortality rates below overall age included Sweden, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Japan, Italy, Iceland, Germany, and Denmark. Overall, for children of all ages between 1961 and 2010, Sweden had the lowest child mortality rate among all of the other countries. As for America, we found that exceeds deaths in the U.S. are concentrated among infants from causes such as immaturity and SIDS, and among teens from injuries. Okay. Existing research has shown that infants die more frequently in the U.S., but this was the first time we were able to see that this trend started decades ago. We were also surprised by how much more often U.S. adolescents, in particular boys, are dying from injuries. He said the most disturbing new findings of this study was that 15 to 19-year-olds in the U.S. is 82 times more likely to die from gun violence in the U.S. than any other wealthy democratic nation. So that's something among other things that people should consider here. Let me just put that in the chat for anybody that is interested in that, and then I'm gonna copy the article too. Yeah, those are some staggering numbers. I don't know what they mean for people that are used to these kind of numbers, but for me, it's not a good look. It's definitely not a good look at all. And people should be concerned about it, especially parents. Parents and grandparents, but parents, So on that note, folks, I'll be back. I just wanted to touch in on this topic. I know I was supposed to do it 2 days ago. Yeah, the timing kind of got off for me. I was recovering from a little infection. I think it was a flu or something like that. But in any case, I'm back on it, taking my time, getting ready to get back to work. So I will be doing that. But I appreciate everybody. Until then, I wish everybody a good Sunday. Have a good evening or a good day, y'all.
If you ain't walking and you don't know how, say Shady Groove's gonna show you how. Just move your feet or get out your seat. You got to listen to the sounds of the funky beat. The first thing that we like to say when you grooving with us, we like to say, hey! To the big brother Smitty and Wood.